Um, we're all here. Our cameras are all working. Well, okay, we're almost all here.
Hi, JC.
Going to be here for a bit.
Welcome to D&D.
Yeah.
It would help if I pulled up my character sheet.
It's always a good idea, yeah. Yeah. I had to pause and do an outa because fucking channel rewards.
Hello,
right.
motherfucker.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing? Good to see ya. Ooh.
So, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we're back on the Menagerie Coast. Last we left off with this group. You had spoken with Serena, the proprietor of the Siren's Call, and learned of the location of the
Miami,
quartermaster,
nice.
and gotten a mission of sorts from him. You were looking for some rarer and harder to find magic items, some new toys. And unfortunately, most of what he has since been conscripted by the Clovis Concord because of the Empire's recent annexation of Nicodranus. But he did know of a shipment coming in, and sent you away with his agent, Darlton, to procure whatever it is that you're looking for and amongst an item for him. And you procuring that item for him means that you're going to be able to take anything else of interest that you find as payment. So rather than purchasing directly from him or commissioning him to make you something, he is going to hook you up with the information and assistance that you need to
Fucking aggressive fucking positivity.
conduct
Fucking positivity.
this caper, in exchange for grabbing a few choice items for himself. There's also the matter of Leah's mom, Shepard, and the little mind flare tadpole still burrowed into her brain. Right now, if I remember correctly, you're all still in Port Damali. You have since left the bazaar and have parted ways with Darlton, who said he had to go basically check on his first leads before he can get the first task to set up the heist. And he said to contact him in a few days, and that he'll basically, don't call me, I'll call you kind of thing. Once you get back, you'll know you're in town. He's a very mysterious and impatient figure. My note had you still at Port Damali, but I don't know if you all went back to home or not.
I
Sure, they
thought
teleported
we
out right at the end.
think we teleported out at the end.
Mhm.
Okay.
I didn't think so, but
check in with
I
the
thought you were all still there.
temple there.
Yeah, do we have
just
anything?
to like check in and say hi?
Oh, okay. I thought we had teleported.
I don't remember. Did we
yet,
actually do that? I don't remember. Actually.
I don't remember that
I know
happening
you did
either.
not
Ran
say hi
into,
to Leah yet or anything, so.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
I-
that's how
We
this
ran
guy-
into the one girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alia?
We ran into the girl.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I could be wrong. I just remember us
teleporting and that being where we stopped. But
That's what I remember.
I was
for
also not here last time. so-
specific reasons.
My notes were not very good on last week's session. Usually I'm taking
You mean
notes
last
along the
month?
way.
Last a month at this point, jeez.
Right. Yeah.
What is
That's
time
also why.
anymore?
Yeah. I mean, in about 2 weeks, give or take, July 3rd. Now, that might be right up against July 4th, which people might have holidays and stuff and things. I don't know. We'll talk about that in the intervening week and a half in terms of planning session 100.
Dun dun
Which is-
dun.
That's
Just mind-blowing.
bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're on session 99 right now, and we're biding our time. You're at home. It's probably having gone from Port Tamale to home. I don't think it's that much of a big time difference. So it's not like it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we went back and then we were going to come back to Port
Oh, wow.
Tamale, but
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
like the next day or something.
Right.
So y'all doing a heist.
That does appear to be the case.
Apparently. Has any of us ever done one of these before? The silence is extremely reassuring.
I don't believe I just learned the term
I mean,
recently.
Bellis isn't here.
Yeah, I was like, Valis
Yeah.
is missing. That's
Mm.
the
Yeah.
answer.
Where'd
Alice?
Valis go?
Yeah. Valis is getting food.
Bellis just ran off to get food. He was like, I'm hungry. I mean, we've done things that require secrecy and stealth.
How well?
Eh.
Some of us very well, some of us less well. I mean, Bellis, I'm sure, has experience with this sort of thing, and Darlton seems like he might as well.
Yeah.
though I don't.
Oh,
know
you
him
are
very well.
severely overestimating the kinds of things that I've done.
Yeah.
You've never
that's
snuck
fair.
into
You
a
seem
place
to be
and stolen
more-
things.
I
Of the-
stab people mostly.
Yeah, I was about to say you seem more the stabbing sort.
Well, let's
Whatever gave
maybe
you that idea.
let's maybe avoid stabbing if not
braggers.
absolutely necessary. Um, but I mean, you're quiet and
So our progress is limited then.
quick. I mean,
I think we'll manage.
Leah might be tricky, and Keegan might be tricky. I feel like, but
Someday we shall have a simple shopping trip and that is it. Someday.
Yeah, that would be nice.
that would have been
Fuck you.
I mean, there have been simple shopping trips before. I'm just trying to think
Name
of
one.
Yeah.
Name one.
Like, oh, they're just. I mean, okay, so it's like, I just realized, like, every single time you get to a town, something horribly disastrous
Yup.
is either about to go down
Yup.
or has recently gone
Recently
down.
Yeah.
That has
Yeah.
thrown the local socioeconomic situation in the complete disarray.
How about that?
Or it's like home and they're just like, bye. You
So
want to trade?
yeah. Are we renaming our group Albatross? Is that
Yeah.
we're not so much the
I
claimant
mean-
crew as the harbinger of doom.
Right. Storm crows.
Yeah. They're just gonna start preemptively kicking us out of town.
Approaching her, shut the gate.
Nope.
Like, oh, those assholes, nope.
Yeah.
With the do not enter list.
But I'm sure we can manage.
We usually do.
I have a lot of experience stealing things, but I know how to be quiet. I know how to get in and out of a place.
I'm not too terrible at being quiet myself, and Pernell, you've done reasonably well being quiet in the past. Elias, I feel like I remember you stepping in a fire once.
And
I think there was a tripping
Keegan,
over of the bed
a
involved.
bed, yeah.
bed.
But
Oh no, the time you tripped over Hegan was a different time. I remember that one too.
Yeah, that one wasn't entirely on me.
that's
That was a
very fair.
mutual effort.
Yeah.
But perhaps we should check in with Aiden and with Leah, and I mean, I suspect Aiden's going to stay here with his brother, but
Can at least not let them know the damage.
Yeah. Let them know.
No. I suppose Leah Moira doth not know what we did before, so.
in fairness, what Felice did before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It was,
That funny thing where Liam Moyer's player knows all too well exactly what they did before.
They just like
Yeah.
stare.
to be
And she
fair.
was proud of it, darn it.
Yeah, this is where we all
I'm
stare at
still
the fourth
waiting for
wall.
that news to get back to her.
Felice is going to go
To
on a
be
murderous
fair.
rampage when she finds out what happened.
Yeah.
But
Elias,
Gonna get back from lamenting and
What?
you think you could
cracks and
tell her?
rumbles, thunder rumbles.
Oh,
Yeah.
gods. I don't think I should.
What, you don't want to come in here and tear the whole town down again?
I mean,
I'm just like picturing Elias's mind flashes back to Felice zapping a puddle full of fish people until it's
cycling through all the things Felice has done.
just to make sure it was really dead.
You're like, I don't know.
And also laughing gleefully the whole
Yeah.
time.
No, I'm just laughing maniacally as she's like
I mean-
lightning rolling and
I sympathize with not
sometimes I
wanting
miss
to
her.
tell her, but also I don't
mean,
know if I
she's-
want to be the one who didn't tell her.
that's
There's that too.
there is that, and it would be from a distance. I wouldn't be telling her in person.
You would not be.
What
And I
I'm
think
saying is, if a giant tidal wave takes out the town, we know why.
Yeah. Yeah, this I'm a little worried about collateral, damn it.
I mean I feel like we can remind Felice not to take out innocence in her anger
Yeah,
at the
that's true.
people who took what was meant for those innocents. Felice just shows up as a shark and then like jumps out of the water and
It's Jaws.
Please take up the land shark.
Or whatever.
Good God, land shark.
sprouts legs.
It was like
No,
Candygram.
No, now we're veering into Gyo, and I don't like that.
Mm.
Don't want that.
Oh fuck! I was not thinking that. Mm.
I was also not. I was just thinking, well, if she's a shark and she's gonna be
Yeah.
on land, she needs legs, so she
Yeah,
needs.
no. No. We're getting a little too Jinji Ito there.
But, well,
I mean, I could
maybe we'll think about it for a little while.
think about. Yeah, we'll sleep on it.
She's not gonna find out immediately if we
No.
don't tell her. So, but yeah, I feel like she'd be
Smash cut to
upset.
Felice finding out immediately.
I feel like she would be upset if she found out we knew and didn't
Didn't
tell her.
Yeah.
But let's go see Leah
Yeah.
and Aiden and Sarum and see how everyone's doing. And I have to give this to Gardner.
forgot Weary about drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weary about drugs for Gardner, not for herself. She has no interest in the drugs. They are for a friend.
That's what they
Who
all
will
say.
appreciate them.
How did those get it? No, those are just for a friend. I was just holding.
Yeah.
The
No
funny
one
thing
I
is,
swear.
Yeah.
that is 100%,
I swear. Not for me.
that is 100% the truth.
The only time that
They
works
really
under
are
a
just for a
zone of
friend.
truth.
So I assume we head towards where we're staying to see if like Leah and Aiden and Sarum are around.
Yep.
Is anybody home?
Penel just walking in, slightly face palming.
Is anyone there?
I don't know where in the timeline this is of where things are
This is
happening.
like-
I don't know if we're home. Are we home? I don't know.
Serum is there, Aiden's there.
I would imagine that Leah is probably at her place and Aiden and Sarum, unless Leah wants to narratively be conveniently having a meal or something with Aiden and Sarum.
I mean, wherever is this? Have we done anything with her mom yet, or not? I guess is the question.
That's
No, not yet.
still on
Because I
there.
thought we were taking care of that while they were in Port Damali, so that by the time they got back, they would be.
It'd all be done.
Yeah,
Well, if
It's-
that's the case,
that was my
Then-
understanding
Did we
of the.
zoom
But
back
that's,
in
that's why
time?
I was like confused about them
Okay.
already being back. I was like, but we didn't like, because otherwise I feel like they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs for a day or two.
it's wibbly wobbly,
I
timey
mean-
wimey.
Serum is recovering.
Yeah, no, I know. So originally, Sarum had said they would do it like the next day, which
Yeah.
is the same time that they all bamfed out. But then we never confirmed whether or not that actually happened. So
Gotcha. So what we can do is we can do that now. So
okay,
It's only fair. After
Leah
last week.
and Aiden, so Leah and her mom and her dad probably all come to the cottage where Sarum and Aiden are holed up, with the rest of the party having traipsed off to go shopping in Port Damali for a day or two. So Sarum basically just said that it would be kind of more like a meditation type ritual. Not a whole lot to it because it's going to mostly all be in her head, but having everyone present would be there, would help provide a sort of a sense of safety and comfort for the participants. So he basically has everyone sit at the larger table in the cottage, and he sort of I don't know if you're sitting with them or not, Aiden, but he kind of like motions you
I'm
over to
staying-
sit and join them.
Yeah. Staying
Yeah.
close to him.
Okay. So he
I'm not holding
he
hands.
has
I'm not holding hands.
yeah.
he kind of like looks at
Until the
you
big fuzzy defibrillator grabs your hand and
and he puts he sits himself between Shepard and Leah, and he holds out a hand to each of them, and he sits you across from him, and when he puts out both of his hands, one to Leah and one to Shepard, he kind of looks at you expectantly. He's like,
Nope.
it will help.
Insight check.
oh my goodness.
Go ahead and make an insight check on your brother.
It's natural one.
Yes. You will kumbaya here this
Unless I
instant.
get
It's for
an
the
advantage for my brother.
It's for the good.
I would say that you don't really need to roll. You know your brother, and you can tell by the smirk on his face that he absolutely enjoys the fact that he's making you squirm, but he's also not kidding. Physical touch and proximity can ground the experience and help people connect. It can help. I'm presuming, Leah, that you have no problem holding his hand.
Yeah, that Leah's like, okay, this is what we do. This is what we do.
Champion's just kind of like looking at everything really awkwardly, not sure. Like he's just kind of standing off to the side, like trying to sit comfortably, but like none of the chairs in the cottage are champion size, so it's kind of like a father sitting
Champion
down
has his own
for
custom chairs made. Let's be honest.
Like toddler
right,
chair.
like yeah, like a kindergarten.
Oh my gosh, I know
Parent
that feeling
teacher
all
conference.
too well. Yep, where your knees
Yeah.
kind of go up and you're just like, yep.
Yeah,
I sit in those
like
a
that.
lot.
I mean, the cottage was kind of built for non-Furbolg sized and shaped people, so he Shepherd is you can tell that she's not quite sure what's. Sarum speaks up. I'm not entirely sure what is going to happen. I will be acting more like a conduit to help you connect with your mother's mind. It's not just a matter of physically removing the creature. It has to be extracted psychically. Its physical form is almost an afterthought. So, I basically just kind of like takes your hand and Shepherd's hand. Just everyone close your eyes, breathe deeply, and just stop thinking. If you've ever meditated, it's like that. And he closes his eyes.
Leah
Sort of
knows
takes
what
a long.
meditating is.
Yeah, Leah's
So,
probably
yeah,
right there
that's-
too.
Yep. Leah's
Um,
like, okay.
Okay. So he like takes a slow, deep breath,
I might
and
just
then you.
bamf my sword and put it in my lap.
Okay. It's silent for a moment. It's hanging in the air, and then you just all hear Champion like, should I make tea?
Yes.
Okay.
The aroma will help, maybe. I don't know.
Shepherd's
Leah
just-
doesn't actually say anything though, because
Yeah.
she's in meditating mode.
Aiden's immediately like,
Please.
if we're gonna do this, I'm not gonna be distracted. Get out of here.
This is
Um,
what we get. We're not allowed to see this in character. This is
Go make
amazing
tea
though.
now.
Yeah. He's like,
Yes, please go do
Um,
something useful with yourself.
he and Shepherd sort of share a glance, and he just sort of like he kind of pats you on the shoulder, Leah, on his way out.
Hey
and
Daniel,
then,
how you doing?
as quietly as possible, which is still not quiet because he's him. Kind of closes up and leaves. the room gets quiet again, except for everyone's slow, quiet breaths. It's difficult to say how much time passes. But after what seems both an interminably long period of silence, alternately almost instantly, Leah, you kind of open your eyes from your meditation, and you are in the central clearing of home. But instead of bathed in the sort of golden sunlight that is almost amplified by the unique trees of home, everything is dark and in shadow. At first, you almost wonder if you're back in the Shadowfell. And you look around and you can see Sarah standing there, dressed much as he is right now, but you can see there's something about his mannerism and especially his appearance. You can see he has the appearance of looks a lot more like Aiden's younger brother. Full head of hair, the scars and the misshapen elements of his skin that were warped are gone, and he's sort of visually whole. He kind of like looks at you and he looks down at himself, and we are in your mother's subconscious. Kind of looks around. She carries a lot of darkness within her, and it's within that this creature is taken up. You were going to be a guide. He's sort of like looking around, sighs, looks around a little bit more. Aiden's not as patient. You might need to wait a moment. And like sort of like as he's kind of like looking around.
Like, is Aiden here?
Eventually it's almost like he was there all along. You're just sort of recognizing and seeing him. And I would imagine, Aiden, your mental projection of yourself is exactly what people see. There's nothing unique or anything different about it. But when you appear, Sarah kind of looks over at you and smiles. I am here as a conduit. Leah, you know your mother better than anyone else, and you understand what she's gone through.
Quick question, just because we're in her mother's subconscious, does Leah look any different in here? It just occurred to me. Like,
I would say
It's a chibi.
baby Leah.
actually, you probably do
It's
look
a
a little bit
chibi.
like you like look at yourself for a moment, and you're like, and it's because you think it.
Mm-hmm.
Your physical appearance shifts and changes, and it's this is a place, Sarum sort of explains, that's not unlike the astral sea, where thought is what governs actions and outcomes, more so than physicality. If you imagine yourself the way you were when you last saw your mother, then that is the way you will appear. For those, and he kind of looks over at you, Aiden, with a firmer sense of self and identity, an unwavering will, not much is going to influence you in this place. You know your mother best. In this place, in her mind, she will have hidden, taken refuge from the beast that infests the darkest corners. We will need her. Aiden, I can't exactly even begin to understand the connection you have with those things. But you frighten them. The spirit of whatever you carry with you has a mastery over them that I haven't seen. And if anything can burn away what's corrupting Leah's mother, I think you're the one to manifest that. Kind of turns to look at you, Leah. If you can find the path.
That's what I was born to do. And I'm just like, which cliffy path do I roll?
Well, think of your mother.
Mhm.
What you know of her. What you remember of her. Saram's actually kind of narrating this a little bit. Think of a memory that you have of her with her that would bring her comfort. It is most often in those memories that we retreat when we are frightened or under duress.
So I just had a really cute mental image of little Leah and her mom teaching her how to like track animals and things, and just finding like a little rabbit family and just like quietly sitting and watching them, and like, you know, in the safe parts of town, not aberration things.
Right.
Or home, not town.
Okay.
That's probably the first thing Leah comes to mind, because I feel like her mom's the one that taught her a lot of her survival skills and things. So.
Okay. As you think back to that moment, there is a rustling from the underbrush nearby, and you're no longer in the central clearing. You're now somewhere in the forests around home, but it is still dark, gloomy. It is a dark reflection of what must be her memories. And you can see a small animal begin to emerge from the underbrush. It's rabbit-sized, and it's rabbit-shaped. But you can see, instead of a soft coat of fur, fuzzy tipped ears, and whiskers, it's mostly hairless. Its muscles are sort of stretched in odd ways. Its limbs are kind of misshapen. And its gait isn't like a little bunny hopping gait. It's sort of a strange, ungainly thing. And you can see it kind of emerge. And it's weird in that there's this juxtaposition in your head of, having followed your mother's guidance, followed the rabbit. And you remember seeing it emerge just like that, except it didn't look like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember following it back to its burrow, back to its den. And it turns, and it doesn't seem to have noticed you. Much like then, you're quiet and stealthy. And it begins to take off in this.
Go to like blast it.
Okay. If he does,
no, that's...
I was like, if he's near Leah, Leah's just gonna like, probably also instinctively, just without saying anything, kind of hand up of the like, nope, settle.
You blast it, or does Leah stop you?
No, I was giving her the opportunity to stop me.
Gotcha. Okay.
She's like, that's not how you do this. Without saying anything. Yeah, she doesn't say anything.
The movement, however, startles it, and it begins, and it sort of bounds off, sort of racing through the brush. Sarum kind of looks to you, Leah.
I mean, Leah will follow it, from somewhat of a distance, not like super, chase it down because that makes it run faster, but
Follow it. Okay.
using
Go ahead and
her-
make a survival check, a wisdom survival check,
Ooh.
because you're now trying to follow this creature. 15. Okay, that's enough. This is not a normal rabbit, but you follow it, and it's almost like you're doing this. It's that sense of deja vu, like you've done this before. You literally have done this before, and it's like the steps that you're taking. You get to this sort of it's like this large fallen log where the rabbit had made its den and its nest. The rabbit hole is much larger than you remember it being. And as you approach it, it's almost like one of those weird things where it's small. No, it's far away, but it's big.
Mhm.
It's that weird sort of dream
Yeah.
distortion kind of effect. But when you approach it, you arrive at it. It's a large cavern entrance that can accompany all of you. It's dark, and you can smell sort of the dank earth, and also definitely just the smell of rot, and sort of not like the sort of mulchy peatness of life and the life cycle and mushrooms and fungus and all of that stuff, but this is like sort of the foul stench of something that needs to be cleansed.
If I didn't have my sword out by now. Summon it or unsheath it, or whichever way.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of one of, whichever way most makes sense for Aiden. It either can manifest in his hand or you pull it out.
It's whether or not it appeared as part of it.
Oh, if you're willing, like if you're instinctively like your hand is out, I need my blade to be in it. It's in
Yeah.
it, for sure.
I mean, he has experience with mental plan.
Right. Notably, you can't penetrate, like your vision doesn't penetrate this darkness. Like everything is dark and gloomy, like because this isn't normal vision. This is not, the augmented eyesight that you have. This is, weird dreamscape stuff that doesn't follow normal
So,
rules.
make this a creature. So it's the rabbit went into the den, right?
And look, that's
or
what
that
the
where we
track
assume
seemed
it
to
went.
indicate. Mhm.
I really want to. I'm like, I feel like this is weird, but I feel like because of. I don't even actually remember what wording you. No, I remember you used the word cleanse in some regard, and I can't remember the context of it. Maybe.
I speak metaphorically a lot.
I know, and that's why I like it. But that's why I was like, now I can't remember what it was that you were talking about. No.
Well, what did that?
Anyways, what it jogged in my head was, so Leah has this thing called Cleansing Touch, where she can end an effect technically on herself or one willing creature. But I was like, can she attempt to basically channel that Wild Mother energy to end the effect on the burrow so they can either enter it or see into it, or because this is a weird dimensional space and things aren't normal?
right?
I'm like, it's fair if not, but I feel like at the very least Leah would try that of like, this doesn't seem right, and she wants to reset it how the Wild Mother intended, basically, is her intention.
Okay. You reach out with your hand. You sort of extend your senses. You open yourself up to the energy and influence of the Wild Mother. You're very uh, much like Sarum is acting as this psychic conduit. You've always been someone who channeled everything that is the Wild Mother. Like your nature has, I mean, even aside from the Wild Mother's tenets, it's less that the Wild Mother shaped you and more that who you are is just naturally aligned with what she represents. And so it's very easy for you to channel her energy. And in this place, as you extend your hand, this sort of warm, morning, effusive glow kind of emanates from you. And it sort of pushes back the shadow a little bit, illuminates the path ahead and around you. And you can see kind of like where that light emanates, the shadow and the darkened, gloomy aspects of the forest are almost where it is illuminated in your immediate vicinity by your glow. It looks like a normal forest. Green leaves, lush grasses. You can even see sort of like a butterfly, like there's the shadow, and it enters your aura. And it's this bright colored butterfly. And then it kind of flutters through. And as it goes to the other side, you can see as it exits your aura, it kind of shift into this strange, inky, black, misshapen thing that just kind of blends into the shadow around it. And so there's this aura, probably about, um, 10 feet in diameter, centered around you of what looks to be natural, regular forest. The entrance to the burrow is still strangely large, but you can see into it. It looks just like damp, dark earth.
How large is slightly large? Because Leah's also slightly large.
Okay. A
I'm
rabbit burrow is normally
it's
like
tiny.
this.
Yeah, that's why I'm like slightly large. Like my hand might fit in it, or
No, like you could literally walk into it.
okay,
Like it's
so
a
like
giant cave,
massively large. Okay,
massively,
just
unusually
making
large.
sure.
I did not actually make that particularly clear.
That's okay. I was
It's
kind of getting that vibe,
big
but I
enough
just
for
wanted
you to walk
clarify.
in. It's
Okay.
it's almost as if it's like clearly I'm supposed to enter this space because it's big enough for me to walk into.
Inadvertently, I turned this into Alice in Wonderland. Sorry, not sorry. We are going down the rabbit hole. um, Leah will just kind of turn to Aiden and say, "Well, I mean, shall we go?"
You're the Pathfinder.
She will go in and see what the heck is in there.
It's twisted and curving and narrow, and beyond your light, you can see what look to be thick, heavy cobwebs kind of covering everything. And as you approach that, as soon as the light touches the cobwebs, it shifts from being what looked to be gloomy, spooky, murkwood cobweb type material to being similar to a lot of that strange, fleshy tendrils that kind of covered and connected everything back in the Mind Flayer city. And it looks like it's all kind of channeling and moving towards a central location. And it all seems to be, so far, it's just a single tunnel moving in that direction. After, time is weird here. so you're not quite sure how much time has passed, but it opens up eventually into a sort of large, wide chamber. And again, only the area around you is immediately illuminated. Everything else, it's like all bathed in a very, very, very dim, like cold moonlight almost. And you can see what appears to be kind of like a nexus where all of these cobwebs gather together, and it looks kind of like a sort of cocoon or a chrysalis of sorts. But it's probably a good 20 or 30 feet in front of you, and then up about 10 or 15 feet off of the surface of this burrow that you're in.
Sorry, my brain timed out, and I'm not sure what you just described. Something on the surface of the burrow.
No worries. So it's a big cavern. You're in a big cavern.
Okay.
There's a chrysalis-looking thing in the center of the cavern, like smack
Okay.
dab in the center,
Chrysalis,
with all
right.
these things connecting to it. They look like cobwebs until your light touches it, and then it sort of reflects it, or sort of reveals it to be the weird aberration, fleshy tendril stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all kind of like coming into this central chamber, and there's that chrysalis inside, or it's egg sac chrysalis something. It's just all kind of covered with cobwebs, and that's 10 feet up and about 20 feet in.
Okay. Leah will turn to look at Aiden and, I mean, just kind of gauge his reaction too before she even says anything.
I mean, can I tell what's inside it?
It is opaque. You can't see.
Okay. I'm just kind of look at her and shrug. Like, is that what we need to kill, or is that your mom?
Leah can probably actually find out because she can sense things like
Sense aberrations.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever that thing is.
You
The thing,
reach out with your
divine
senses.
sense. That
Divine sense. And the chrysalis itself is not, or whatever's inside of it is not an aberration. In fact, you might think that might actually be your mother. But there is something just on the other side of it that's kind of hidden, that there's a strong aberrant presence there. And as you reach out with your senses, you feel like you almost make contact with something. And you can see kind of coming up and over the other side, still in the sort of dim, pale light, is what looks to be this massive, spindly legged, spider looking like creature. It's not like an 8-legged spider, but it's got like big, it kind of like does this thing, crawling up and over.
Lovely.
Yeah. And you can see it's got like weird wavery tentacles kind of coming off of it. It's displacer spider or something. It's a weird aberrant type spooky looking creature, and you haven't even seen it in your light yet. That's just what it looks like in the shadow.
Nope.
But both you and Aiden, and actually Sarum as well, hear this voice enter your mind. She is mine.
Well, no questions there.
Yeah, Leah will just kind of, the spider's clearly obvious now, but like the I was gonna say, like, in response to the, do we kill it or whatever, and she just kind of motions to the spider thing, just like that we need to kill.
I need you both to roll initiative.
Dun dun dun.
Natural 20.
Woo!
Nice.
Nice.
11.
Okay.
Nice.
It reaches up over. She is mine. Aiden, you look at Leah. Leah's like, yeah, we got to kill it. Aiden, you go first. You're quick on the draw.
Yeah, I'm just looking up. Hey, here. Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, I'm gonna turn my sword into a trident and chuck it at the thing.
Sure.
So, that's 22.
That will definitely hit. So you transform your blade into the trident. You throw it, and everything outside of Leah's light is weird and shadowy and distorted. Once your blade leaves her light, it is crystal clear. It is almost radiant in its reflection of whatever this sort of pale ambient light is. And the strike pierces this creature and throws it back up off of the chrysalis. And you both hear this powerful sort of psychic wail of pain. I'm not really going to have you roll damage because this is
Okay.
not like a physical creature. But depending on your actions over these next few moments will kind of determine how well and what happens to Shepard. I didn't roll a 20, and I didn't roll an 11. So Leah, you're up next.
Okay.
I mean, if I could, I wanted to.
If you got more things to do, you can.
Yeah.
You still have
I
your
wanna.
turn.
I wanna basically far step to it and like hold it, pinning it down.
And pin it down. Okay. So you far step to it and shove the trident even further, and you've now got it basically pinned against like the back wall.
Wait, it's a trident? Is that new? Did I miss that? It looks like a trident now.
Yeah, you
That
turned
is
it
the
into a
thing
trident.
that my
he
blade
can
do.
transform it, especially
Yeah.
now in like, you know.
Yeah, well, I was like, has Leah actually seen that change shape before?
Oh yeah, he did it.
Does it a lot.
He
Yeah,
showed it off a
I might not
lot,
noticed it.
especially
Yeah.
when he was fighting Pernell.
Yeah.
Then to turn it into a glaive too.
No,
There were
don't
3
notice
glaive.
that,
There
but
was 3
okay.
glaive
Yeah.
moon at one point.
That's my brain for you. Anyways, carry on.
Okay. It's Leah's turn. So what do you want to do?
Sorry. Clicking tabs, lots of tabs. So the thing is up on top of.
So think of sort of a vaguely rounded cavern. In the center of it, the chrysalis cobwebby ball thing. And Aiden is now kind of perched on this spider thing, pinning it to the back wall with his glowing trident.
Okay, but it's like it's up. But Leah's tall, so like can I
Right.
guess the question is, I'm like, can Leah reasonably hit it? Sorry, Kitty, I didn't mean to kick you.
Sarum kind of touches your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're not in the physical world. But you can see he has got like it's like it's not the exact same thing that he's been carrying around, but he does have a geometric physical object sort of in his hand that he's kind of like holding, and it's giving off a little bit of light. It's not really a weapon or a shield or something like that, but you're only presuming that this is his form of defense in this place. So to answer your question, if you need to get there, you can get there.
Cool.
You just have to imagine yourself doing it in some way. Aiden said, I cast Far Step. So he cast Far Step.
Okay.
So if Leah is just gonna straight up like fly straight there, then that's how she does it. If there's some other means by which she imagines herself getting there, that does it too.
Sorry. Sorry, she's like right by my foot and it like tickles, but she's just laying there. But it's, anyways.
Tail like
just
wrapping
not
against
even.
you.
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's like the side of her, and it's just her breathing is like just faintly enough tapping against my ankle, and my feet are ticklish. So I'm like, what is happening? Sorry, brain. So yeah, especially if Sarum with Sarum's reminder or whatever. Like there was that one time she had a potion of fly, so she's gonna just kind of remember that feeling and see if she can get up there. And while she's doing that,
Your feet lift up off the ground and you rocket towards this creature that's currently pinned against the back wall with
we're gonna pin
Aiden
it
trying-
even more. She's gonna, on her way there, she's gonna cast Ensnaring Strike.
Okay.
And then she's gonna, yeah, just basically, you know, with the glaive, just try and slam into it, and you know, if she hits,
Make an
just
attack
kind of
roll.
wild mother it, you know, wild mother it to the wall. Oh, this die is not really liking me today. What is my attack modifier though? Oh, big. 16.
That's enough to hit it.
Okay.
As you sort of fly over the chrysalis and that aura around you illuminates it, you can see it shift very, very quickly and briefly as you pass by it from this sort of thick, white, webby, opaque, thing to what looks to be more like a strange yellowish amber gelatinous sack, inside of which you can see sort of a curled up fetal position, vaguely furbolg shaped shadow
In the chrysalis?
in the thing, yes, as you pass by it.
Yeah.
When you get up to this thing and your aura envelops this creature, you can see it shift from the sort of dark, shadowy, weirdly misshapen spider to just like the most ugly squid-like tadpole you've ever seen. It's like slimy and oily at the same time. It's got, instead of like thick ropey tentacles, they're like small, thin, stringy ones, but there's like hundreds of them,
Like
kind of like
jellyfish?
yeah, and they're like wrapped
Ugh.
up and around
Aberrant jellyfish stick.
the trident that Aiden has pierced it. But your glaive comes up and hits it not nearly as strongly as Aiden's. Like Aiden pierced the thing and is actually pinning it to the wall. You just gave it a good whack.
But I did Ensnaring Strike, so I would imagine
That does extra things, right?
It basically.
Vine it to
make
the
sure.
wall, essentially.
Yes.
Vines?
Her goal was not so much to impale it with the sword as much, or the glaive, as hit it and make vines come out and grab it, basically.
Okay.
Ensnaring Strike is, because I have several things that do similar things.
In a weird echo of the tendrils reaching out that are enveloping your mother, vines, thick, green, vibrant
they look kind of like the vines that grow on her glaive.
Right. Basically just start it's you've done Ensnaring Strike and these natural things kind of come up out of the ground. But here it's like they're thicker and larger and stronger, and they are like bursting out of the walls and floors to ensnare this creature. And you can see as soon as they do, and as soon as you sort of get up close with this thing, it's beginning to strain and struggle both against you as well as against Aiden. You both have it pinned fairly strong, but you can see multiple eyes that are they're not really like attached in a logical way. There's just on the thing. They're sort of like all opening up widely, and they're shifting focus quickly back and forth between you and Aiden. And it takes its turn, and it's going to basically, with some of its many hundreds of thin tendrils, try and grab onto both of you. And so what I need you both to do are to make either a dexterity or a strength saving throw.
We'll go with strength.
I feel like we're both strengths.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
little bit.
my dice are not really liking me too much.
Your aura
18.
applies, by the
Natural
way.
20.
Hey.
Jeez, well, Aiden's on his game. Leah's apparently a little more hesitant, cautious because she knows her mom's there. So
Right.
we're
Well, like I
looking
said,
at
Aiden
that.
has
I mean,
more
she still rolled an
experience with
18,
this kind
so,
of mental
Yeah.
plane, so
Mhm.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Um,
He's
yeah.
he's especially good at this.
That's why
So
we
what
brought
did you get, Leah?
18.
Okay. So it's wrapped a number of its tendrils around you and begin tugging and like sort of like pulling you back and pulling you away a little bit. What did you get, Aiden?
natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah. So
So a total of
um
28.
right. It starts like wrapping you up with its tendrils, and they just don't find purchase. It's almost as if you're simply not there. Like it's like it cannot approach your metaphysical form in any way, shape, or form. But we're back around to you, Aiden.
Well,
It
if
is sort of screaming in pain, pinned against the wall. It's on its back foot, and it's flailing against you. It does not seem to really be putting up much of a fight compared to some of the things that you fought before.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we've got it pinned. I'm basically just gonna, like holding it with one hand and the other hand,
Mhm.
basically just gonna be like firing point blank into it.
Couple of eldritch blasts.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and just make a single attack roll.
Okay.
This is sort of
27.
representative.
27.
Okay. Yeah, so each of your blasts basically are, it's practically disintegrating under the force of your blasts. Like huge chunks of it are slawing off. And it's the tendrils that it has sort of wrapped around Leah are like quickly weakening. And it is not got much that it's going to be able to do left to you guys because you've been very effective. But Leah, you're next.
All right. So does it still have some of its tendrils wrapped around her?
Yes.
Awesome.
Narratively speaking, you're
Yeah.
or narratively speaking, it's got tendrils around you and you're grappled.
Word of radiance. She's just gonna boom
Wow.
all of
All
the
right.
radiance of the Wild Mother out at that thing because you get close,
All
that's
right.
what you get.
Sure. Is that a saving throw on its part?
Yes, it's a Constitution saving throw.
A
that
Constitution
requires.
saving throw. All right.
DC 17.
The thing's not rolled above like a 10 yet. So you blast out, and the entire it's like your aura that was just kind of around you just expands and fills the entire chamber with that sort of warm, effusive golden glow. And you can see now, like the shadows at this point have been completely banished, and all you see now is just sort of this, strange, tendril-like material that's just kind of wrapped around everything. And when it was covered in shadow, it was mysterious and it was foreboding. Now it's kind of like, I know it's not fantasy, but this is the metaphor my brain goes into right now in this very moment, is they stop showing the end credits of the movie and they just flip on the lights and the magic of the movie is completely dispelled and everyone's just kind of like blinking a little bit. That's kind of what happens. It's like it's just this sort of like weak flesh thing now rather than this weird, whatever. Also, all of the tendrils that are wrapped around you are completely burned away, and this thing is now shriveled, impaled, convulsing, but it has one last thing that it's going to try and do. And you can see with what remains of it, it begins to shy away, still pinned by Aiden, but you can see it kind of snake a couple of its tendrils into that chrysalis. And you can see the figure inside begin to sort of convulse. And that's what it does. You're not sure what's happening, but your instinct is seeing this happen is to be alarmed, because the figure does not look like it's whatever is happening is good.
No.
But we're back around to Aiden.
Kill it. Kill it dead.
I'm gonna I'm gonna keep it pinned, but I want
Mhm.
to basically summon Dean, severing that tentacle connection to the chrysalis.
Summon what?
Basically, Dean.
His.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Okay.
Persona that is inside it. Yeah.
Right.
Basically, just have him appear over there and just cut
Right.
it.
You lean harder into this thing, and you can see it react and physically convulse. Just every fiber of its being that is in contact with this weapon of yours must be screaming in pain, because it is anathema to it. And you kind of look over and you just kind of see out of almost like stepping out of a shadow, he kind of like looks at you and he's like, took you long enough. And he just pulls out almost like a twin blade, but it's like almost comically long in a way, very kind of Sephiroth style, like that. It's dumb, and he's just looking at you the whole time. And he takes that swing, and basically pierces all of the tendrils that were connecting the creature to the sack, and slicing through. You can see it kind of like puncture a little bit and like start gushing out fluids and stuff. But yes, that's what happens. And
Overcompensating much?
he's like, I'm a manifestation of your psyche. Leah, was there something else? That would be an action. But was there something else, like mechanically speaking, that you wanted to do? I don't know. I mean, this is more narrative
for
me.
Such sass.
Okay. Yeah. But you can see the shape inside is not nearly as in distress, especially with what Dean just pulled off. But this creature is still sort of clinging on, and you can see that it's still there, trying to get at presumably your mother.
So it's Leah's turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Leah's going to, at this point, assume that Aiden and Dean can probably handle this thing, and she's going to focus more on her mother.
Okay.
And she is going to, once again, attempt to use this cleansing touch, because it's my level 14 feature, and I'm apparently just going to get a bunch of use out of it now. But she's going to try and reach through the chrysalis, if she can, to actually, like, grab a hold of her mother and just focus. Like, it's normally just an action, but I'm like, however long it takes, she's just going to channel cleansing touch to try and just end this thing's influence on her.
Okay. You, with the strike that Dean had made to sort of like puncture it, it's like beginning to kind of deflate and ooze out, but it's not like liquid. It's coming out sort of like weird, almost like intestines. So it's like you're pushing your arms elbow deep into what feel like lots and lots of innards. It's very disgusting.
Big pile of spaghetti.
Right. But you do reach in and you can feel a solid mass underneath it all. And you're presuming that this is your mother, this solid mass. And you just pour all of your heart your passion thinking of those moments with your mother raising you to be the woman that you are, teaching you everything that she knows. And as you do, the chrysalis around her begins to collapse inward on itself. And you can kind of like reach in and wrap your arms around her and begin to pull her out or let's pull her out and more just hold her as it
Yeah.
begins to fall and wrap fall away from her. And in a few moments, it's strange because you've always, imagined your mother as being larger than you, but you're very much like holding her and cradling her against you. And those are strangely reversed. But she seems to be unconscious, and physically she kind of looks like she did when you first met her back in the Shadowfell, just ragged. But as the everything, the chrysalis itself begins to fall away, you can see just the tendrils beginning to weaken, tear, and just kind of fall one after another. The things that were connecting it, these membranes to the walls around in this giant den. And you can hear Sarum, and he's sort of like looking at everything that's going on. That was easier than I thought. Okay. You guys are good. Okay.
Is the thing gone then, or dead, or whatever, or
The creature itself
Mhm.
is basically kind of like just collapsed, like a jellyfish that's been deflated.
No signs of life at all?
It's like if anything, it's more like bioelectrical, sort of occasional convulsing and shaking.
So death rattles.
Death rattles, yes. Dean kind of like whips his sword around to like flick all of the gunk off of it. Kind of wipes it on his cloak and sheathes it again. Saren kind of looks over at you, Aiden, and just like, should I ask? Because like he would recognize the uniform. He knows where that's from.
That's fun.
Don't read too far into it.
Okay.
So
this
sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's dead. Her body will probably absorb it or purge it in some way. But we have to get out of your mother's mind before she comes to, because we don't want to, be stuck here. So,
That's
you're
good to
gonna-
know.
Yeah.
I was just say while they're talking, because if Leah's still just holding her mother,
Yes.
knowing and figuring how things work here, she's gonna start singing the lullaby that her mom sang to her as a child and picture their home growing up, and see if she can shift the landscape before they go out, so her mom doesn't, in theory, wake up still in that place.
Right.
Not knowing if it'll make any difference, but while that's going on, that's kind of just what Leah is doing.
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma check. Sort of influencing your will.
16? Like, just adding my charisma modifier?
Yeah.
16, yeah. Man,
Okay.
I'm not rolling well tonight.
That's sufficient,
Like, I'm not
especially
rolling
considering
terribly.
the
I'm rolling okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like as everyone kind of comes together around you, the scene of this horrible, horrible cavern begins to fade away and just kind of get replaced with, at first it's just sound, just a few bird chirps, a far off bleating of some creature, and the sound of wind rustling through trees, and eventually the kind of coming in, manifesting around you is essentially what would be your front yard. As much as a home has a front yard. There's still no direct sunlight anywhere. It's like this weird dreamscape ambient light, but instead of being all spooky and gloomy and dark, it's now sort of a warm yellowish light that you're much more used to seeing. Shepard still looks kind of rough, but she's no longer kind of convulsing in pain, or looking to be in distress. She seems peaceful, but still like completely out. But you've shifted the landscape and seemingly in a different place now. The door to your home is open, and you can smell something being cooked or brewed on the stove. Reminiscent, nostalgic of childhood. You can't quite place what it is. It's sort of one of those, what it is because you're in a dream, but you don't quite know what it is.
Yeah, I'd say if there's like a tree out front kind of thing, Leah's just gonna prop her mother up against the tree.
Okay.
And then hearing Sarah saying about them needing to get out before she wakes up, Leah knows not to basically sit around and wait for her to wake up, because that's not good.
Right. Okay. Sarah looks over to you, Aiden. When you shifted, Dean didn't come with you. It's just you and Leah and him.
Good.
He holds his hand out to you. He's like, one last time. He's smirking now. A lot.
Why does it make a difference here?
Leah's just gonna grab his hand. Not forcefully, but she's big.
I'll say probably if Leah was singing, there might have been just this like subconscious flash of Aiden's mom just kind of superimposed over that.
I would say that would be something.
That's fun when you introduce it into a mental landscape.
Yeah, right.
Do we have that brief glitch moment of like,
oh god,
before
there is and no, that's actually absolutely the case, where like for a brief moment, Aiden's will is manifested, and so there's like this brief glimpse of, you can see like little Aiden, little Sarum, and an elven woman, like just the barest flash, and then you're in the glade around your home, and I would say Sarum, instead of holding his hand out to you, smirking and saying, haha, hold my hand again, instead, having seen that flash, is kind of stunned momentarily, just sort of like, oh, yeah. Kind of shake his head a little bit. It's just kind of a thing where you just, we leave the way we came in, and he kind of just like stops and sits on the ground, kind of not quite taking his eyes off of you, Aiden. And he's just trying to like slowing his breathing.
I will not visibly react.
Yeah.
Leah will, having set her mother down, walk over and join them.
Okay. But
But I will also sit down and not make a fuss.
Right.
Yeah.
You're probably like a half a second behind Sarum and Leah. As you're sort of all sitting there cross-legged, and you've got birds chirping, and it's warm. You sense more than hear or feel Leah and Sarum kind of leaving, being gone. And with them being gone for just another brief moment, instead of hearing, because your eyes are closed and you're sort of meditating and kind of getting into a trance, instead of the sounds of birds chirping, wind rustling through trees, you hear
Whoa.
people
Robot.
laughing.
Whoa, you roboted. Yeah. Oh no.
We
That was
heard
the worst
you hear
robot time.
demon sound.
You hear robot demon sound.
You're still a robot demon. Shit.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay, there we go. Maybe.
Nope.
Ah, fuck! Maybe?
Let's see.
Your camera's really stuttering.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
I think it might be his internet. Yeah.
Damn it!
I think his internet's going wonky.
Fuck!
Dang it. It was so good. It was
Always,
becoming
always,
perfect.
always.
And then the internet
That's
said
exactly
no.
what I wanted when I brought that up.
Internet's like, fuck you!
I like how it's just, for me, he's just frozen, like, with his face close to the screen off to one side.
Internet's like, fuck your dramatic moment.
No dramatic moment for you. Why
He
would you
moved
get
at least.
those? He did move. He's moved a few times. Sort of.
Weird, can you?
Whisper louder.
I'm trying to use my phone.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, we got you now.
All right. So
Uh,
four brief.
Not great, not great.
Don't take this from me.
no, this is no.
The internet is against you getting this, apparently.
Nope. We're sticking this out. We're gonna spirit bomb this to his internet.
Don't kick your kids off the internet.
God.
Okay, children, no internet for you.
Spirit bomb
For 10
vibes to
minutes,
Brendan's
please.
internet.
At least.
Yeah. If the internet's 10 minutes late, we can live.
If the internet's 10
Minutes
minutes
late, we're legally allowed to leave.
We're
No.
allowed to leave.
Fuck. Restart your Discord. Just restart your Discord.
Yeah.
'Cause we got nothing. Oh heck, now I'm seeing double myself. Damn it!
feed, yeah.
Yeah.
And no Maggie, and it.
Huh?
No, I just gotta move people over.
Yeah, well, at
Move.
least when I looked over to Twitch, it was like Elias's
Oh.
screen. There's Maggie. It's like.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There were two.
I
two
was like,
errors.
I don't actually have Twitch open because my internet has not been super reliable lately.
Yeah,
so
I don't have Twitch
I
open
don't
either.
watch it overly much.
Twitch actually helps stabilize it.
Surprising! The one thing Twitch is good at,
Yeah.
apparently.
Our internet's usually pretty reliable here too, though,
Hmm.
which is one of the nice things.
You know, except for it decides to blink out for a couple
Well,
minutes. and then
yeah,
Hmm.
sometimes it does that.
Hopefully y'all are doing okay, chat.
Yeah.
For you. Someday when our DM's internet cooperates again, we will continue.
Yep.
What is that?
So how about that sports ball? All of them.
The same thing, right?
What sports ball is currently being going on? Baseball, I know is because my brother is into it.
All of them are the same thing, so it doesn't matter.
Haku apparently has strong feelings about this.
Poor Haku. Poor Haku. Oh no. Well, this seems like a good time for a momentary break.
I was gonna say,
Why
yeah.
didn't I wait to make my coffee?
Alright. I'm gonna.
Because no one expected the DM's internet to spontaneously combust.
Yeah, nobody expected that shit.
I'll be right back. But
Much
No
like
one
the Spanish Inquisition.
Yep, I'm gonna do that as well.
Nobody expected.
I'll turn on the break time thing. We'll be right back as soon as we get our DM back. See you soon, people. We shall deal with this the way we deal with everything else.
Punch him in the asshole.
Yes, the prison pocket.
What is with you? Prison? I'm gonna use that new spell that I got just to punch Nox. I think I'm gonna do it. If we're not doing it tonight, I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna wallop him right now.
I was trying to have a moment, but no.
It's Bureau's fault. Blame Bureau. He's the one who said it.
I said it once.
I know.
So
You shouldn't have said it to
yeah, but when John hears it and he loves something, he's gonna run that joke into the fucking ground. That's what you don't understand.
He's gonna bury that thing 10 feet deep.
Here lies
10
prison
feet
pocket.
up the prison
Episode
pocket.
55 to 80.
Side behind you, those of you who are still in the four-way intersection,
Oh boy.
you watch as coming out of that weird green glowy liquid
Motherfucker.
is another one.
Fucking
I
hell.
knew I should have drank it. I knew I should have drank it. Whatever.
No.
I
don't
think you should have drank the snake liquid. People have been telling me that for years. I've never taken their advice.
Oh my god.
Big inspiration.
What you gonna do?
Someone clip that, please. Tommy, clip that shit.
And I fist hard. And I fist strong.
All right, I'm down. Let's do this.
I'm not King Shimon. Let's do this.
Excellent. Prepare your body. No. You should not eat dinner before this. Otherwise, you might puke it all over me, and that is just... ugh. We are fisters here, men of culture.
Well, I had fun.
I don't know. It seems like a rather unsatisfying finish, don't you think?
I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied.
Many times. He set himself up for that fucker.
Elias just falls out of his chair.
This one quickly reaches out to catch him.
This is at least worth. If something's going on in this city involving, I'd like to know about it.
Of course, I shall follow their lead. Yeah. But for now, I know thou wishest to have thy spell time.
Spell time?
She doesn't really know.
That's a phrase.
She's like, that's.
Is that what they're calling it now?
He wants to go alone into the bedroom. Put out some incense. What do you think?
It's gonna take me like 10 minutes.
Nah, I'll just void that. I'll cast locate object on gold coins.
You get several thousand dings on your locate object. Without too much trouble with that, you are able to find the horde of Zuthus, the corroded soul.
We found them. Yay.
Fike, I shall not say this very often, but get the hole ready.
Yeah, it's not gonna fit in the bag, brah. It's not
You
fitting
just
in the
got
bag.
experience points.
Yes! Let's go. Let's go.
I hope you've got quite a few other a small army of capable fighters with you.
Smash cut to small army fighting people in the ring in that bar.
Ding, 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 ding.
Smash cut to Vanya and Orion fighting what looks to be about a dozen other dwarves in a caged ring.
Please tell me Vanya is wielding Orani like a club and is just and is swinging down, stopping right before that Orani punches. Hey, the punching club, my only weakness.
Just leave one leg open so I can kick him too.
Smash cut back to the office. Smash cut back to the office of Nostock.
You could say we have something along those lines.
Specifically, that one's called, fuck.
It's a weird name for an island. Fuck.
Fuck it, I said
really
it.
don't want to go there.
Now. It's Fuck Island.
It's either the best or the worst island in the archipelago.
So named.
It's definitely not a mediocre experience, though.
So named because everybody who goes there says, fuck, this is a terrible place.
That's actually their slogan. Fuck, this is a terrible place.
Yeah, it's what their tourism bureau tells people. Yeah, so as you're going by Fuck Island, you hear some crows saying, yeah, the people on Fuck Island are fighting each other again.
I don't suppose the crows recognize any cult symbols?
Nah, no cults there. Just 3 different groups of people with very strong ideas about what to do.
Just a bunch of fuckers, really.
Yeah, basically.
So these fuckers want to raise taxes.
Only some of the horrible things going on are cult things. The rest are just regular terrible people.
Just double checking.
That's fair.
Because I kind of want to know who our neighbors are, but that'll be on that goes on to the to-do list.
All right. Yeah. I will. Let me come up with some quick faction names for you while we're sailing.
The factions that we can get to fight each other harder.
Sure. They're already in a turf war. You can't start one amongst them.
Okay, so our goal is to stop the turf war. Got it.
We need to unite the fuckers against a common foe.
Common fuckery.
Friends, Romans, fuckers.
Under the banner of common fuckery.
Oh, I'm so glad we named it Fuck Island. Oh,
I thought I didn't have
alrighty.
enough caffeine for this, but apparently I do.
I'm just gonna go ahead and start another Google Doc real quick for Fuck Island. 'Cause I think we're gonna see more of it in the future. Alrighty. So yeah, you pass by Fuck Island. The fuckers are fighting the fuckers are fighting the shitters again.
Fuck you all. I might be crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Oh, you're gonna have to give me a second. Okay.
Fucking same.
If we conquer it and then eventually trade it away in a business deal, we could give somebody a fuck. Or if we refuse to do it, we would not give a fuck.
Fuck you!
Look at all the fuck I have to give. Yeah. Okay.
If the shitters are involved, I don't want to I don't want to take any shit.
I think I'm just dead, guys. I'm sorry.
Their main factions are now canonically the fuckers, the shitters, and the dammers. The fuckers really want to fuck shit up. The shitters just the shitters are big on the idea of public infrastructure, specifically for sewage, and the dammers are really, really big on building dams for some reason.
They're a big fan of beavers.
Yeah, big fan of beavers. They're beaver people. Yes.
So it's ultimately a conflict about public infrastructure planning.
It's ultimately a conflict about public infrastructure of two people who have very strong ideas on two groups of people who have very strong ideas about what the main form of public infrastructure should be and what their focus should be, versus one other group of people who just really, really want to fuck shit up.
I just thought like the fuckers were just like really into just making it a very island brothel.
Fuck.
This is starting to sound like a Dr. Seuss book.
Almost.
It's really all just really about the type of whorehouse they want.
Well, we'll work on it. I'll write something for Fuck Island. Do not fear.
You're
the main
welcome.
takeaway for now: beaver people are now canon for Euelia. They will all speak in Newfie accents. All of them. All right. So yeah, Fuck Island. That is now.
Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
And I'm gonna inflict wound.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna do inflict. Whoops. Come back.
Inflict whoops.
Whoops. Inflict whoops. As if I've made a terrible mistake.
Very educational.
Of course, it is my calling to aid those in the name of the Wild Mother. You are a follower, and from what I've seen, a good one. And it was my pleasure to assist you in such a daunting task.
Given all that, she said you would be most effective of a teacher. So, and she was not wrong.
Well, I have long caught the Wild Mother's eye in doing good works for her for many a year. And the fact that she would say something like that to you about me.
Just watching this being like both a bit like surprised and also like, oh shit, she called him a crotchety asshole. I'm not gonna. Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
I did so enjoy slicing into his flesh that one time. I was a battle axe that time. It was pretty cool.
It just like does that.
The
Yay!
robot has been defeated.
Huzzah! Also,
Yay!
shit.
Yeah, the
Okay.
evil has been defeated.
There we go. Also fix this thing.
Hopefully.
There we go.
The AC doesn't really reach back here, but
Yeah,
I
no,
left
the-
it.
Okay. How is
Yay,
my
no
audio?
He lives!
Good.
Woo!
It's
We
funny.
can hear you.
That great. That little avatar, the one wearing the orange sweater, that I gave you art for way back when. That's something that my friend drew depicting me
Be gone, bot.
going on about 20 years ago. I had a lot more hair then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of hair.
Oh, nice.
It's just
the overlay back.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that was.
okay. Hold on. I need to
Like I got a button
like
for that now.
load up all of my documents. I need to use the restroom really quick and whatnot. But we're on break anyways, right?
Oh,
You said-
okay. Never.
Not anymore.
Wait. Oh, we're not on break.
Shit. If I need to go back on
No
break.
break for the DM.
Sorry, I will go back on.
running
Pay
around
no
the house.
attention to the man
Wait.
behind the curtain.
Yeah. Hold on, break time.
I just need a moment. I'll
Okay.
be right back.
We shall deal with this the way we deal with everything else.
Punch him in the asshole.
Yes, the prison pocket.
What is with you? prison?
I'm gonna use that new spell that I got just to punch Knox. I think I'm gonna do it. If we're not doing it tonight, I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna wallop him right now.
I was trying to have a moment, but no.
It's Bureau's fault. Blame Bureau. He's the one who said it.
I said it once.
I know.
So
I shouldn't have said it to
Yeah, but when John hears it and he loves something, he's gonna run that joke into the fucking ground. That's what you don't understand.
he's gonna bury that thing 10 feet deep.
Here lies
10
prison
feet
pocket.
up the prison
Episode
pocket.
55 to 80.
Side behind you, those of you who are still in the four-way intersection,
Oh boy.
you watch as coming out of that weird green glowy liquid
Motherfucker.
is another one.
Fucking
I
hell.
knew I should have drank it. What a fun.
I
No.
don't think you should have drank the
No.
snake liquid.
People have been telling me that for years. I've never taken their advice.
Oh my god.
Big inspiration.
What you gonna do?
Someone clip that, please. Tommy, clip that shit.
And I fist hard. And I fist strong.
All right, I'm down. Let's do this.
I'm not King Shimmer. Let's do this.
Excellent. Prepare your body. No. You should not eat dinner before this. Otherwise, you might puke it all over me, and that is just. Ugh. We are fisters here, men of culture.
Well, I had fun.
I don't know. It seems like a rather unsatisfying finish, don't you think?
Really?
I
don't know.
assume thou
I'm
hast
pretty
heard
satisfied.
such a thing many times. He set himself up for that fucker.
Elias just falls out of his chair.
This one quickly reaches out to catch him.
This is at least worth. If something's going on in this city involving, I'd like to know about it.
Of course, I shall follow thy lead. Yeah. But for now, I know thou wishest to have thy spell time.
Spell time?
She just like she doesn't really know.
That's a phrase.
She's like, that's.
Is that what they're calling it now?
He wants to go alone into the bedroom.
Not how modern play works.
Put out some incense. What do you think?
It's gonna take me like 10 minutes.
Nah, I'll just void that. I'll cast locate object on gold coins.
You get several thousand dings on your locate object. Without too much trouble with that, you are able to find the horde of Zuthus, the corroded soul.
We found them. Yay.
Fike, I shall not say this very often, but get the hole ready.
Yeah, it's not gonna fit in the bag, brah. It's not
You
fitting
just
in
got
the bag.
experience points.
Yes! Let's go. Let's go.
I hope you've got quite a few other a small army of capable fighters with you.
Smash cut to small army fighting people in the ring in that bar.
Ding, 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 ding.
Smash cut to Vanya and Orion fighting what looks to be about a dozen other dwarves in a caged ring.
Please tell me Vanya is wielding Orani like a club and is just and is swinging down, stopping her before that Orani punches.
Yay, we're back.
We're back.
With the moment with Aiden.
Give me it. Give me
Okay,
the drama.
come back into the drama.
Okay.
Bring it.
All right. So, a moment passes. Sarum, Leah, their presence is gone. The sounds of birds chirping and wind rustling through the trees surrounds you. Your eyes are closed, Aiden. But there's a brief moment where you hear the sounds of crockery, plates, cups, distant conversation, laughs, the sounds of a tavern. And above it all, your mother's voice calling out to some customer, putting them in their place. And then you feel Shepard and Leah's hands in yours as you awaken a moment after them. Well, a moment after Leah and Sarah. Shepard is still kind of unconscious. Her head's slumped down onto her chest. Her breathing is regular. It's deep and slow, like she's in a very deep sleep. But she seems restful, not in distress of any kind. Aiden, or Sarum, sort of relaxes his hold and sits back. One of these nights, you're going to need to tell me just exactly what that thing is that you're carrying with you.
I mean, it's kind of complicated, but also not really complicated.
I think that kind of sums up our lives.
Big mood.
He
Yeah,
looks over.
Fair.
Sorry. He sort of like tilts his head a little bit, like he's listening. She's sleeping. I think it's gone. Your other friend, the moody elf, he can, I think, sense presence. He can confirm it when your friends return.
Oh, right. You said moody elf, and I was like, who?
Pretty one.
Hmm. Interesting choice of words.
It's like, is there something you want to tell me?
How are you feeling?
I'm tired. Like, I know it's barely morning, but I feel like I've been just running for so long. I think I might go find that hot spring and just sit.
You want me to come with?
If I fall asleep, I'll need someone to keep me from falling into the water. But I think it might be nice to be a little bit.
I don't know if you want to trust me with that.
You've literally pulled me out of worse shit before. But I think it might be nice if it's a little bit quieter. Like, your friends are great, but they're a lot.
Trust me, I know.
I appreciate them. I know that you wouldn't have been able to get me on your own.
Yeah, I don't know if I
And
really.
he like looks over at you, Leah, and he's like, I know I'm talking about you and your friends as if like you're not sitting right there next to me.
Oh, I wasn't sure if he was actually out of the thing yet or not.
Oh yeah,
I
no, you're all
thought
sitting around the table.
Okay, well, I thought Aiden was like.
No,
that was his mom, and I missed whenever we stopped being there. Sorry.
It was only a brief like sensory memory.
That's what I thought. That's what I
yeah.
thought. It was weird that it was
It
going on
just
so long.
seemed like it took a lot longer than it actually did. You know, that switching between one plane and another and a dream state and another, it always takes longer than you would expect. There's sometimes technical problems, you know.
Yeah.
A psychic melding is not an exact science. But now would be a good time for tea.
They get a little nod and make tea, I guess.
Well, your dad went.
So yeah, go check on your dad.
Well, then I will check on my dad. He was
Forgot he
making
doesn't know how
tea.
to make tea.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
So you get back to your place, and judging by the light, it's probably like middle of the day. Like you all had been in a trance for what must have been hours at this point. And your dad's made like 5 pots of tea and they've all gone cold. And there's just like vessels that are holding all, and he's just like sitting there nervously like checking it. And when you walk in, he like quickly turns to look at you, and he like rushes over to you and wraps you in a big hug and asks you, if your mother is okay. Is everything okay? Are you okay? You're here. Like, I made so much tea. Do you want tea now?
We're
I made
okay.
tea. Okay.
We're okay. Yes, tea would be nice.
He gathers up a tray and with like a little jar of honey and some other various Furbolg, accoutrement that they put in their teas and goes back with you. And your mother is still kind of just like slumped over, like although she's like started to slowly lean to one side, but she's still asleep. It seems like. And you can see, like as soon as he sees her, all of his nervous energy just kind of dissipates. Sets out tea for the 5 of you. He just kind of like sits next to her and just sort of like it's like doesn't want to touch the bubble because it'll pop or something, but he's sitting there waiting, ready for when she does wake up. The tea is actually pretty good. He's not.
It only took him 5 pots to get there.
Right.
You don't want to drink the first 2. You let them steep too long. They're just bitter.
He's waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah, they're pretty strong.
A lot of time to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just stress brewing tea.
Yeah.
But Sarum yawns and stretches a little bit. I might not even make it. Maybe a nap first. You kind of like, if anything happens, and I don't know what I can do, but wake me up, I guess. I'm gonna go crash.
All right.
He excuses himself.
It's just kind of awkwardly. Well, it's just me and Leah's family now.
This is fine. This is the perfect spot for it.
I feel like I was like, wouldn't it be funny if that's what it showed up and they're like, so how's it going? And it's like,
Yeah.
hi.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
Sitcom
they
laugh
literally
track.
all do show up in the cottage, so it's like this awkward silence, and everyone's just kind of sitting around, and then it's just filled with people all of a sudden. And like Champion's kind of like startled, and he like falls over backwards out of his chair, and like still like holding his cup of tea.
Oh my god, and oh thank god.
Does the tea spill onto someone?
Oh god.
No, because he fell backwards, but he's still holding it. Like the teapot and everything is on the table. He was just sitting with the cup, but as he fell backwards, he like held his cup out the right. So it's like he's on his back, and his hand is like holding the teacup, and he just kind of like, just sort of like puts it on the table, grabs the edge, and like pulls himself up a little bit.
Oh dear.
Apologies.
Are you okay?
Sorry about that.
Unexpected arrival. I
We
think
do
we're
that
good.
now.
He like
Everything
looks
okay,
over
Sam?
at everyone and
Like next time, perhaps we should not go immediately into the cabin.
Well, but how many people know we're here so far?
Oh,
5.
That's the problem.
fair enough.
Well, we're back.
I made tea. And he sort of like slowly pushes Shepard back up, sort of sitting upright a little bit. She's like somber.
Okay.
Harper's still asleep, right?
No. I think so.
How'd it go?
The boy. They all were like sleeping all morning long, and then they're not sleeping anymore. I made tea.
But just look at Leah for some kind of clarification.
Yeah. Leah just nods and just
Like, sleeping all day.
I assume you helped Shepard?
Yes, my mother is resting now. She is. As is Sarah, I believe. Well, he's resting.
All right. Well, that's good.
So she'll
That's
be
good.
all right.
Suppose we'll see. But well,
At least move her out of the chair. I mean, she's gonna be.
could we
sleeping.
put her to
Yeah,
something? I mean, yeah, that seems that.
You fall asleep in the
I'm
chair,
sure-
wake up with a crick in your neck,
Is it
and
safe?
Just...
Is it safe? He's like looking at you, Leah.
Leah will just nod and say, "You can take her home." Or well, if we are, no, we're in the cottage. I was like, we aren't home, so yeah, she'd say.
Yeah, we would not have appeared in your home.
Yeah, I just had a moment. Yeah, she'll nod and
surprise.
It's safe.
Okay.
She should wake up.
He gathers her up. I mean, she's a big furbolg, but
He's
it's like,
really big.
He's bigger.
Yeah, this ragdoll kind of picks her up and sort of very carefully kind of cradles her against him, and he has to actually hunch over in the cottage because again, it is not furbolg sized. Like your average furbolg from home would be fine if a little, like it's a little, but you and your family kind of run a lot along the big side. So he's kind of like crouched over, and kind of ducks under the door jamb or whatever, stands back up and kind of turns around and like looks under the door jamb a bit at everybody.
He waves back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Thanks.
See you later.
Let us know when she wakes up, I guess. That would be good to know. I think.
We'll send word. Probably like one of the squirrels or something.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Watch me glance back. Well,
of course, I know.
you seem to have had more fortune than we did today.
What happened, Leah?
Yeah.
A lot. But like I said, she's better now. Yes.
You're really quiet.
You're really
Sorry.
quiet.
Yeah.
Leah, I feel like Leah's emotionally drained too. She's just, in response to what happened, she's just like,
A lot. It's not really something I can explain.
That's fair.
But
I
she's
mean,
better now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's if at some point you want to talk about it somehow, or you can, or words can be hard. I get that.
I don't feel it's something that needs to really be explained.
Well,
what matters is that she's all right. So
yeah.
Yes. I mean, if the need ever comes up again of how do we get rid of something like this, I'd be happy to inform of how it worked, but really the how is not as important, I guess, the what. So.
Or more of a, if you ever decide you want to, feel free. But if you don't want to, also feel free not to.
Damali's fucked.
Damali is a mess.
What is Damali?
Port Damali is a
city.
A port city.
Menagerie Coast.
Yeah, it's where we went today to. Well, we got some of our shopping done, I guess.
Yeah.
So you remember Elise, right?
Yes,
You met her
your
briefly.
gnome friend.
Short,
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember the druid.
Yeah.
And just take a sip of the tea.
Oh god.
Last time we were in Port Tamale,
Aiden, guess what?
Felice did a ritual spell to make the land more fertile to try to help people.
And then rich people being rich people.
Backfired a little bit.
You want to help us rob a ship?
Yeah.
Also, we need to rob
How
a
do you
ship.
feel about
I'm confused at what that has to do with the land being fertile, but
So the rich people sort of took over all the things. My brother is now a wanted criminal because he's apparently a revolutionary. And
that's
also,
fun.
if we want any
like, wait, what?
if we want any magical item, we kind of have to rob a ship.
Pernell's just sinking more and more through all this talk. Just
I feel like Leah's just getting more and more confused of like.
Where he just whips out the drugs.
I think we need to go back, and maybe that would make it would make more sense if you see it.
Okay,
so in order to fix the land, we have to rob a ship.
Well,
that's just a bonus.
The land is fixed. It's the
the people.
It's the
So
people.
Felice fixed the land. She made it more fertile, right? And
Yes,
The
that
druid,
sounds
that's,
like a
you know,
good thing.
Druid thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she thought. Apparently, the people with lots of money and power
Like, this is ours now.
decided to take all that fertile land, push out the people who actually needed.
Leomora doth
The
not understand the
food.
concept of eminent domain.
Oh, Haku, you fell off the couch.
Barely understand the concept of eminent domain.
But they pushed all the poorer people, the people who actually needed what Felice did, off of that land, and took it over. And now Port Tamale is kind of a mess in a different way.
So we need to push those people back off the land, is what I'm hearing.
And robbing a ship is just an added
Part of
bonus
that,
to
yeah.
piss them off a little bit. And, we get some stuff out of it.
Yeah, the people the contacts we had in Tamale that previously sold us some magical equipment, now don't really have a lot of things, but they know.
Oh yeah, because the Empire's also making a move on.
Yeah.
There's that.
I feel like we intercepted some communication that alluded to that.
We did.
The Empire.
Yeah.
Empire.
Nicodranus is
dear,
Empire territory now.
We might need to explain Menagerie Coast and Empire politics to Leah. She
Sit down and explain everything over a lot of people.
Concord and
Get a notebook.
You know, you put in all that effort to save Nicodranus, and now the Emperor's walked in and just taken it over.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we do. We sit down and we just sort of explain how that part of Wildemount works.
How it's supposed to work. How it
it's
works
supposed to work
now.
Yeah. Over tea with Leah. It probably takes some effort because Leah doesn't have a whole lot of experience.
You have a great point of reference.
Explain, like, so there's this thing, and which involves this, and like, what's that thing? No, this thing involves this. What's this other thing now?
Also, the Cerberus Assembly.
Yeah.
I feel like we may turn to like
this conversation just to make it more difficult.
some of the point references. I feel like we probably try to use as many references to places like Warden that Leah is actually like semi-familiar with as we can.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's like I would say
Leah
more
very
than
much
half
also
of it.
doesn't understand really like the need for political structures even because like
what don't
she
you know
knows
of the
they
Wild Mother's
exist, but
lover,
she's like-
Arathis?
They're an
Yeah,
abstract concept.
yeah, and they only seem to cause problems. So like
The challenge
just like
the challenge Leah is
and why we care about this because it's like she gets why they should care because it's people, but at the same time she's like, why aren't the people fixing the problem? Like,
well,
like she's not resistant to go, but she's just like, Yeah, this
No.
is such a foreign concept, and she's like trying to like, okay, like the land grew. You had her there. Like we fixed the land and made it grow better. She's like, awesome. And then it's like, and then politics, and she's like, now you lost me.
Yeah.
So we are probably going back in the morning, right?
I think that's the plan. I don't think we're robbing the ship in the morning, but
no,
I think
no,
we're going
I think
back.
we have some more people to talk to.
Yeah.
But that said, do you think? Are you in?
I mean, if you need my help, I still am not sure that robbery is the best solution to this problem. But
we're robbing from fairly not
robbing
great
the
people.
rich to feed the us.
Neutral good
Blink.
person. Why does it have to be theft?
That is the most Elias thing you've ever said.
Yeah, just full on
Hey,
smack.
I see no problems with that statement.
I'm in.
Neutral good bard is like, I kind of hate the people who.
He's, you know what? He's true neutral. It's.
I kind of hate the people who have decided that my brother is a criminal, so I don't really care anymore.
Leaning
I
a little
mean,
chaotic these days, but
robbing the rich to feed the us. I love it.
Robert to feed the blank, but my brain just filled it in with heat-seeking bratwurst.
Oh my gosh.
Rich to feed the heat-seeking bratwurst projectiles.
That's a good one. Anyway, but it's. I mean, I think the challenge is that we don't know where else really to get any of the things that we were looking for, and the quartermaster.
Oh, without going into Empire territory, I guess.
Yeah.
Which seems less ideal than robbing a ship in Port Damali, honestly. Unless we want to. I mean, do people want to go into Empire territory?
I mean, I feel like we're gonna end up there eventually.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to sooner or later, but later is probably the better bet.
So basically, yeah. Also, I do want to figure out what exactly is up with my brother and what he's doing. Good. The last thing I sort of expected when I went to Port Damali was my brother's picture on a wanted poster.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I will probably disguise myself when we're in Damali because I look kind of like him.
It's a safer bet.
Yeah.
Just hold on to that hat
I
for
don't
now.
believe anyone expected what we found when we went there.
No.
Yeah.
Felice will probably kill some people.
Yeah.
Not if I get to them first.
I mean, she'd probably accept help.
Yeah.
But, so the plan, I think, Elias, you wanted to go back to the Raven Queen's temple,
Yeah.
right?
Just wanted to check in. See how things are going.
Was there anything else we still needed to do in Damali other than
I
steal
mean,
from a
nothing
ship?
immediate. Nothing that will, keep for a week.
Yeah.
So we go back, we
I do. I mean,
show Leah around a bit.
Tonight, set up sanctuary for get word of recall set up.
Ooh.
So that's an option.
Word of recall is helpful.
Since there is a shrine too.
There is a
right
shrine.
here,
Yes. You can do
Very
that.
good idea.
you can set home as a
That is smart, yes.
a waypoint sanctuary.
An incredibly useful recall spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that spell I used to carry with my cleric until her temple got destroyed. That was a thing.
I mean, it saved Zephyr's life. So.
Oh yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, I think we're just waiting for whenever the ship comes in.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun and all, but I don't know if I'll go for it with you guys. If it was just me, Synergy sounds fun, but I don't trust
We'll
you guys
fill
not
you
to
in
screw it
on.
up.
We'll fill you in on
Thank
all
you.
the details.
We'll fill you in and we'll keep everything.
Yeah.
For
Oh yeah. We'll pick you up some stuff.
Yeah.
Will we?
My confidence is
getting
astounding,
signals
Aiden.
here.
Anything, we'll find something weird, I'm sure. I would pick you, something from the ship. I'm sure there's something.
A souvenir.
Yeah.
Souvenirs are fun.
Give you back a souvenir of that time we robbed an airship.
There's nothing blatantly monogrammed with Port Damali.
I mean, I assume most things won't be blatantly monogrammed with Port Damali.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
One chord specific.
Yeah.
So are we spending the night here?
I assume so. It would be a little silly to have left and come back and then go back now.
Yes. I was glancing at it. I do not suppose you have any tips for us. Since you seem to be the knowledgeable one on this sort of thing.
Don't get caught.
Astounding advice.
As always.
Solid advice.
Brilliant.
You're not in trouble till you're caught.
Your criminal mastermind background is certainly coming to a fore.
He just wants to think he's the smartest person in the room. He doesn't actually have to prove it.
Have to and can are two different things. Just because it's working.
Anything's believable without proof.
So, some food, some sleep, and then we head back?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. And
Oh, yeah, Viria, don't you have drugs for someone?
yeah, no, she held them up earlier. I got this for Gardner. I thought he might enjoy them.
Oh, I'm sure he'll love those. That's normal. Like,
I'm all like, Leo and Viria are both like, this is a perfectly sensible thing to do. What is the matter with all of you?
Leah also has no idea where they came from or how they're obtained. So she's just like, cool, you got herbs for Gardner. Awesome. Like,
then she bought them. She bought them. Perfectly reasonable thing to do.
Yep.
And we're also going to rob an airship. Like, come on.
It's fair. Yeah.
On the scale of legal
Sliding scale of
Waria's purchase of
legal purchase of
it's
herbs
not.
is.
We started with a
continue.
sliding scale of cults, and now we have a sliding scale of legality.
But yeah, I thought he might enjoy, from other parts of the world, but we'll have to figure out giving it to him because he doesn't know. Does he know we're here? He doesn't know we're here.
I don't think he would really question it if you just walked up honestly.
That's fair.
That's fair. I could just show up with present. That's true.
I don't honestly think he'd ask too many questions.
All right. Well, I'll make sure he gets it then.
So yeah. I mean, before we sleep, Elias is gonna cast Word of Recall And designate home.
Is that like a ritual or something that you conduct at the shrine itself?
I think. Do you
You
cast
just kind of have to be like, this is it.
Or yeah. It's
just says
what-
you must designate a
there's-
sanctuary
yeah.
by casting the spell within a location, such as a temple dedicated
Yeah.
or strongly linked to your deity.
So
And
yeah,
the only
you like
components
cast
are
it once
verbal.
there. Yeah.
So you just be
Cast
like,
it once
this
and you're
spot.
like, yeah.
As long as it's tied to your deity.
As
Yeah.
long as it's tied to your deity.
I do like the idea that is actually Elias' verbal
this
component.
He just stands there and goes, this spot.
Here's good.
Here's good.
Yeah, like, this is fine.
This will work.
Okay.
I like this spot. It's cool. It's cool.
Component. Here's good.
You're like
Here's good.
you move over some kind of like
Yeah.
Gordon elven tchotchke and put like a little token of Saren Ray and like it's good.
It's good. Yeah.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Elias'
like,
particular brand of spellcasting.
Yep. Yeah, it's good enough.
I mean, you got to think that like Saren, one of Saren Ray's most important devotees and proselytizers, often begins conversations with, okay.
Yeah, I was saying between Pike and Elias, she's batting.
Yeah.
She's great.
The reason the Gospel of Sunray does not travel far.
Yeah.
She is great.
Saren Ray knows how to pick
Mm.
them. Yeah.
I mean, while Elias is doing that, where he will probably deliver herbs to Gardner.
Not even gonna take that long. It's literally one action. Just the cast time.
But you have to be at the you're doing it at the top.
I mean,
of
yeah,
the
I'll
business,
go.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
what I was thinking. It's like
time
while
it
you're
takes
out of
to walk
this.
too.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Is like head out while you're doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she delivers herbs to Gardner, who is probably high.
He's not always high, but it's like he just has a persistent level of, you know, the fantasy equivalent of THC in his system.
Just a baseline level of.
Just a baseline level of, you know, and it's for health reasons.
Sure.
Maybe he's got, you know, chronic pain
Yeah.
or something.
He's got a card. He's got the
Yeah. Yeah, he's
medical
got a little
card.
card that, you know.
A verbal medical marijuana card.
Yeah. No, he's super appreciative, and he's like, "Wait, where did you get these?"
Port Tamale.
Oh, okay. I've never had anything from there before, and he's sort of like inspecting it very, very closely.
Think.
You didn't do nothing illicit to procure these, did you?
Bought them. Which she did. She bought them.
Huh. Hey, I always thought those folks down there were a little too stuffy for.
I mean, I bought them maybe at not the most public-facing store, but I bought them from a stall in a marketplace.
Ah. All right. Cool. Thank you. I mean, I'm gonna have to, you know, experiment with them. I've never used anything like these before. I'll have to, you know, test their properties. So I can't, you know, give you anything with them, but I'm sure when I brew up something, I can definitely, you know, give you and your friends, you know, a sampler. You keep on bringing me all these interesting flowers and plants. I can definitely put something together. Y'all cleaned me out last time though. Like I mean, other than the normal varietals and stuff, that's just normal garden things. But anything special, like you need special ingredients if you're gonna make something special, But you brought me the special ingredient, so I can make something special. Just not right now.
That's totally fine, Gardner. I just thought you might enjoy them.
Totally.
Maria just smiles at him, and then, unless he says something else, waves and heads back to the cottage.
He's got like really long, kind of thick, like floppy lop type ears, rather than higher or anything. Just that sort of like hat that's like that big sloppy sloopy. It's like not a beret, but it's that one.
Yeah.
What, Mona?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. But, no, he is very very eager to explore the things that you brought him. So, in some undetermined amount of time in the future, check back, and I'm sure he'll have concocted something interesting and useful out of this.
Something interesting. Yeah, Maria heads back to the cottage. And unless we have something else we want to do tonight, we'll probably go to sleep soon. Well, she might work on Purnell's instrument a bit, which she still needs to finish. And then sleep.
Thank you. I'm gonna write down some shit. Like, dear diary, today was a fucking.
Today was
Right.
Dear diary, you wouldn't believe what happened today.
Oh, actually, no. She would go to Elias and say, Elias?
Yes.
I don't know if it makes sense to like send a message or try to look on him, but do you maybe do something to check on my brother?
Yeah.
We'd sort of out of character talked about Elias doing something.
Yeah,
but
we
hadn't
did.
in character
Yeah.
said anything about it, so.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I figured if we're going to bed, now's a good time for whatever.
Got spell slots to burn.
Then
yeah, I can try. Elias has met him, right? Did you actually meet Warrior's brother last time? I don't remember.
Were you with me?
I'm trying to remember if
I don't
It was
think
a
so.
long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
Warrior
think
went
back
to
3
like
years.
check in on him by herself.
No, I feel like
Yeah.
there was someone. I feel like there was someone with me,
someone.
but I don't remember who it was.
I don't think that was. I mean,
My
I can.
notes are not
I
very
can
good for my
try. You know.
But
Me-
I mean, Waria has to have a disguise. She can make
Yeah,
herself
that's
look
true.
like her brother.
That's enough.
That's crying on him.
There you go.
Yeah, Waria makes herself look like her brother, which is, not totally dissimilar from Waria. Different enough that
Right.
like you wouldn't immediately go, "Oh, they must be related." But if you saw them next to each other, it makes sense.
Would you have anything of his?
I mean,
Possibly.
probably
We have the same
something.
nose. Does that count? No.
I mean, I feel like when she went off traveling, she probably took like little trinkets from her family that don't really have any intrinsic value of any sort, but are just trinkets. So yeah, probably.
But if it's something that like they made themselves and gifted to you,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, yeah, no,
that would ensure a
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
stride plus the image.
Yeah, I know. I think she would. I think that would make sense as something she would have from them. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Pulls out like a little like carved like little animal carved sculpture that her brother did when he was younger.
Okay. I mean, I guess technically he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
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 Yeah.
It's modified by how well I know the target.
I'm fairly certain that does not beat your DC.
What is it? His DC is 18. Is my spell DC? So.
Yeah, I missed it by 10.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right. Have you scried before? After
Yes.
with the
switching. Yeah, you
Claudia's
scried
little
on
mirror.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, because I
was gonna say not have you scried before, but specifically have you scried since shifting allegiance away from the Raven Queen to Saren Ray?
Yes. Actually, I don't.
I think you have.
I feel like it was after
I
you
have.
switched.
I'm trying to remember if I ever did
mirror.
scry when he was still with the Raven Queen.
Oh, when he was still with the Raven Queen. Yeah, you've definitely
Yeah.
scried since. Whether or not you scried before, I don't know.
I did. I forget who it was.
Okay.
Because you
Scried
got
on
the shitty
someone.
mirror in Guardian after we came back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty mirror, just really gaudy mirror.
Yeah.
Must make a saving
Eccentric
throw.
mirror.
Oh wow. So the modified roll was a 1 with all of the penalties because you got the image, you got the object, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, you cast the spell, and it's always like at first it's almost like you see a very, very high level perspective of the landscape just before dawn. The sun breaks. There's sort of this bright surge of light that kind of crashes over the horizon. And there's, motion blur, special effect zoom in. And what you're seeing now and hearing is a halfling. He is standing over a table, maybe. You can clearly see him. He's in a room of some kind. It seems to be lit by candlelight, maybe. Some kind of firelight. There's flickering. So it's not a steady light. It's not magical. It's not the sun either. He's leaning on a table, talking, planning of some kind. It seems as if they're discussing a target. There's a lot of people sort of pitching in, and so he's stopping and listening. But it's very much like that you get the sense like this is someone who is in command of this room and is dictating and taking notes and feedback, referring to multiple people. And in the few moments that you're watching him, you gather that he's in the middle of planning something. Now, the spell actually lasts up to 10 minutes, and so you can continue to monitor him. And listening to it a little bit further, it sounds as if there's a lot of context that you're missing. And they're speaking in a lot of kind of like code words almost. They're being very vague, possibly because they know that people might be listening in. So you're trying to kind of piece things together. But from what you're gathering, I'm going to just kind of sum this up rather than narrate 10 minutes worth of something.
Yeah.
Basically, they've made contact with an outside group. They are basically funneling resources to this outside agitator group in an attempt to weaken the power of the Clovis Concord within Port Damali. And it doesn't seem that he's in distress or in hiding or anything. He seems very much in command and in control, which is, I mean, I don't know how much Worry has told you about him, but there is sort of like a weird sense of
So it seems not what I was expecting from
right.
what Yuri
It's
has
like,
told me.
right. Like he's either been through something or he's changed somewhat or he's just, you know,
Putting on a brave face.
maybe putting on a brave face. I mean, don't you have like a stupidly high insight?
Yes. Passive insight is 20.
Yeah.
I have a plus 10 to insight, so.
Right. In which case, you can tell that some of what he's doing is a performance. And the way he's carrying himself, the way he's moving, there's sort of an act to it. There's a certain amount of theater that you're picking up on. But the gist of it is that there's an external outside power that is rising up in concert with their efforts to basically strike out at the Deep Miner Company. And so it's sort of like the Deep Miner Company is acting as almost like a proxy for the Clovis Concord interests in Port Damali. So it's almost like a plausible deniability thing. The Clovis Concord is gaining all of the benefits of what's going on, but they're not technically the ones running the show. It's the Deep Miner Company, or Deep Miner Enterprises, actually, is what they're called. And so the idea is if they can take down the Deep Miners, then they should be able to the outside people don't care about the Deep Miners. They have a problem with the Concord. Warrior's brother. What? Hold on. I want to stop calling him just Warrior's brother.
Yeah, no, he does have a name. Let me find
He
it.
does have a name, right? It is Reed.
Yeah.
Is that the young?
Yes,
It's your younger brother, right?
Younger brother
Reed.
is Reed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have your brother's names. I just didn't have which one is which. So Reed, he wants to take down the Deep Miners. These other people are more interested in taking down the Clovis Concord. At the moment, their interests are aligned, but you can definitely tell he is like negotiating very disparate factions in order to get them to work together towards a single goal. And that's the gist of what you gather in those 10 minutes. Lots of code words and stuff. You have an inkling that like Velas would probably have picked up on some things, but you've got some background, like your soldier background. You kind of stuff about a lot of that, right?
A lot of that, yeah, because it's the kind of the like city guard.
Right, city guard.
Background,
So based on that, you suss and you're very very high insight. You suss out a lot of what's kind of in between the lines, which is he's barely got these groups under control. It's very much riding the lightning, and while everything is going great, it's going to work out. But it's a very volatile situation that is a very fragile alliance, and he is very nervous. And that's what you pick up from your scribe.
I will convey that to Aria. Well, he certainly seems to have taken up the persona, at least, of a revolutionary leader.
I mean,
Get these.
we were all sort of performers. I guess that persona, taking up a persona is less surprising than it might be.
Fair enough.
But still worry about him. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it's a... You know, it seems like things are going okay for now, but... you know.
Yeah, well,
one
I guess
thing
we'll have
goes wrong and boom, 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 you know, the whole
Yeah.
thing collapses.
We'll have to sort of keep an eye on things, I guess.
Yeah.
At some point, reach out to him, but I don't know.
I mean, maybe not right now because he seems to be in the middle of something, but you know,
Yeah.
to send him a message sometime.
Yeah, no, that would be good. I would let him know not to do something stupid. Which
is that a say is that something we should be concerned about? Yeah, I don't know your brother.
I mean, he's my younger brother. What?
That's fair enough.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have. I mean, as I said, it was less surprising that he was trying to start a revolution than that he was a violent criminal. But I also wouldn't have necessarily expected, oh, hey,
to be good at it.
Gonna go start a revolution today.
Yeah. And to be good at it too. He seems like he's doing a pretty good job. For now.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's never been bad with people. So that's just not how I would think. If you'd asked me, hey, who is the most likely to, you know, I'm gonna say start a revolution again, but like try to lead people. Try to lead people in an uprising. I wouldn't have picked him.
Take down a corrupt government.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, he is my brother, and you know, I guess I've sort of done some slightly crazy things this journey.
A little bit of a.
Yes, cut to Wario holding up a little Wario, very little Wario, holding a book to a dragon nearly 100 times her size.
Yeah.
No, actually, Wario was holding the flute she made.
Yeah. I think Purnell had the smut.
Gift.
Yeah.
Purnell had the smut.
She did.
Wario did explain the smut, though.
That's true.
Right.
Yes, always explaining the smut.
When you're talking to an ancient green dragon, it's helpful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, if something's gonna go wrong, I feel like it's gonna go wrong very, very, very quickly.
Yeah. Definitely seems like a, you know, alliance of convenience. Hey, our goals happen to align at the moment, but you know,
I can throw you under the cart whenever I feel like it, sort of situation.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it won't come to that, but
hopefully. But well, yeah, when we can, just and maybe if you catch him when he's not in the middle of talking to people, that might be a good time to send him a message.
Yeah.
I feel I don't know if I trust him to not react if he suddenly heard a voice in his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe his poker face is better than.
I don't
know.
You know, I didn't start being able to do something shorter distance, but you know, similar until I was gone. So
so
I
this is not.
don't know that he's experienced
Yeah.
sudden voice in
Sudden
mind.
voices that he doesn't recognize.
Yeah. But thank you. I'm glad at least that so far he's doing all right.
That's what Apparently that's what I do, is I check in on everyone else's younger siblings and make sure they're okay.
Not wrong.
It's appreciated at least. But
yeah. I'd say any time, but that still does take a good bit out of me, so
yeah,
anytime within
Not
reason.
Yeah.
Definitely the sort of thing I would ask you to do at the end of a day, not you know, first thing in the morning. But I understand. I understand that. Yeah. After that vaguely awkward conversation. Because Wiria doesn't really know what to make of all this, and Elias is Elias.
Elias.
We sleep unless other people
Yeah.
have things to do.
I mean, yeah, like I said on Discord, I would probably also check in with Suhi at some point before we.
If you're going, if you actually have to do this spell,
so yeah, if I do actually
at
have to
the
do this
shrine,
at the shrine, so yeah, that would be while I'm there.
she is as long as you're not showing up in the middle of the night, more likely than not going to be there.
Yeah.
But since it is in the late afternoon, all of the little furbolg of home have all been sent off to do chores or afternoon play or something like that. So there are lessons in whatever form it is that she has. Rigid structure isn't really a thing in home. As close as you're going to get to it is some history and other things from Suhi in the mornings. So usually in the afternoons and evenings, she's usually tending garden. She has a number of specifically elven plants, cuttings and clippings from places not in home that she often tends to. She spends a lot of time really by herself. Just this is all kind of things that are occurring to you as you're approaching the shrine, seeing her working.
I should probably
watching
let her
body
know
language.
that we might suddenly appear here randomly without warning. Let her know that I'm doing this. You know, just see how things are going.
She's very absorbed in her work, and so you kind of have to like get very close, not like but like get in her line of sight, you know. She sort of startles a little bit. Oh, Elias, you've returned. Welcome back.
Yep.
You and your friends are healthy?
Yes. Yeah, actually. I was about to say there's about to be a but on that, but I don't think there is, which is weird. That's new.
No more more missives, ravens, or anything.
No, not recently. Things good here.
I tend my garden. I teach the small ones in the morning. Is there something that I can help you with?
Well, I did want to give you a heads up. I'm.
It's just like, oh, thank you for that lead. Like, oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Thank you. Thank
Elias,
you.
how do I progress the conversation?
How can you be so insightful yet so foot
and yet
and mouth
so
at the same
bad
time?
at this? I want to set up just a quick little ritual to use this space as a sanctuary return point in case we get in trouble. We can just like poof back here. I wanted to give you a heads up so we just don't. I will try not to trample the garden because it'll be like all 6 of us at once, most likely, given how things tend to shake out.
I mean, the garden's in the back.
Okay, well, I don't fully know where.
It's
Yeah,
almost like
I'll
a
set it,
small outside amphitheater type thing, like an open
Okay,
air
that makes
seating. And it's really, there isn't really a pulpit so much or a lectern really. She just kind of sits on the ground with all the kids. There is like just the slightest slope, like really just the slightest grade. So it's not exactly like an open air amphitheater. It's very like maybe 10 to 12 feet diameter. And it's only a handful of kids at any given moment. But the garden is sort of set up behind the
make
small,
sure to like designate, not the garden.
Right.
But
Um,
didn't want to, startle you with stuff that's been happening. It seemed like a good idea to have a quick backdoor, so to speak.
I appreciate the consideration.
You're welcome.
It's a quick escape. Sometimes is a safer choice than
given past experience.
I know that the Raven Queen has asked a lot of you and your friends. I don't think Saren Ray's looking for martyrs. So definitely, if she can keep you safe here, then please return whenever you need.
Yeah, that is reassuring. And yeah, no, I don't. I gotta be honest. I don't miss the weird, the creepy dreams. I mean, she's great and all, but
I can understand some of the discomfort. My people have a strange relationship with the matron.
That's all around.
yeah. We're all just kind of like, yeah, same.
But there aren't many followers of the Everlight, so keep yourself safe. She needs all of us.
I will try. I'll give it my absolute. I'll try.
You can tell from her expression that she's very bemused. And it's both sort of like
safe is not something I'm good at.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're trying so hard.
I'm trying. He gets a gold.
She's trying to be like, she's trying to be gentle and disarming.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You could. It's all right. I know. I'm very aware of the kind of person I am now.
You say that like you weren't awkward before.
Yeah.
I had thought perhaps since you had seen so much of the world that maybe one morning you might speak to the children.
Are you sure?
Story time with Elias.
Oh, Elias.
I had thought perhaps your experience and some of the things that you've traveled the breadth of the world. You've been to
Yeah.
Teldore, you've been to Isilra even, and Vasselheim.
I'm from Silra. Yeah. Oh God, I am so far from home.
I
But
understand
anyway.
that feeling.
Now you
But
It's like just hitting you. My thing of like, oh, I am so far from home.
but I wouldn't want to ask if it wasn't something you were comfortable with.
I'll think it over. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they have heard plenty from me, and you and your friends are popular among the younger children. You're new and interesting.
That was
and I
their
thought
first
it would be
mistake.
it would be a treat.
Yeah, see, that was your first mistake.
If any of you would ever want to come, I word had spread of some of your
Well,
perhaps exploits with Champion and Leah and Pathfinder. And while I don't think perhaps sparring would be the most appropriate lessons for the children,
yeah.
there's
You don't want you
there's something to be said about new experiences that go beyond what someone has grown up with. I think it'd be good for them. And you and your friends are certainly new experiences.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll think it over. I'll, broach the subject to a couple of them. Maybe not all of them.
Some seem to
Maybe
be more
not.
inclined than others.
2 of them. In particular.
Gee, which 2 could it possibly be?
Maybe 2 of them that are probably not the most child friendly of my friends.
I'm just gonna say, Velas was doing dagger tricks for the kids. Okay.
Dagger tricks for the kids.
I think that explains everything.
adorable.
Yeah.
This is exactly why you keep them away from the children.
I'm just like, yeah, don't let Aiden near the children, please.
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey,
Aiden should be
kids, have you?
I can only teach by kicking ass.
Yeah. This is how you harness eldritch power.
This is how you
Hey.
rob tombs.
Yeah, all of those burial grounds in your forest. There's really cool stuff. You should check it out.
It's a fascination.
And then get back to me.
Yeah, and then
Get back. Yeah.
send them off on their own little field trips.
Dungeoneering 101 with Uncle Aiden.
Oh God, that's a terrifying.
Oh no.
It's like Hagrid taking the kids into the old forest.
Yeah.
Mood.
Yeah.
That makes
They'll learn about traps firsthand.
that makes Aiden our Hagrid.
They'll learn about traps real quick.
Aiden, what's that long pole for? You'll find out.
Just, hold it out in front of you, keep it level.
Level.
Yeah, she disengages politely and adroitly from the conversation to let you finish to start and finish casting the spell. She gives you some space, but she's curious and she watches to see kind of like what it is that you're doing. She doesn't have spell casting abilities. She's just a faithful
regular
person. Yeah. So she's curious and interested. She just doesn't have the whatever's necessary to channel Saren Ray's direct.
I'm sorry,
So she's
I'm not the most impressive person in the world.
The stories I've heard would say otherwise, Elias. Despite all of that, you and your friends have accomplished
Yeah, I guess.
Things that would be told in story for lifetimes if people really knew what you've done. You've left your imprint here at very least. And I know that, yeah, some of you are a little, shall we say, less verbose with your stories and details. So really what you've told is only a little bit of what you've actually done.
Yeah, well,
so I'm impressed.
I'm not sure most people would want to hear every detail of what's happened, what we've done. It's
circumcising the flesh tower.
yeah, let's not talk
Leave
about
that part out.
Stories gloss over those details. No one ever. The details don't make
particularly
the story.
heroic.
Yeah.
Didn't feel particularly heroic when it was happening, but
But you and your friends are welcome here anytime. It is. She kind of like looks around. Like, there are no walls. It is literally a shrine in front of like a couple of logs. It's open.
yeah. Hopefully we won't bleed all over it next time when we inevitably have to use this to make a fast getaway, just given our track record.
Her skin is naturally pale, but she kind of blanches just a little bit at that, sort of like.
Right. Yeah, like I said, details.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
The young ones have seen more than perhaps many others, considering their age and
where, well, everything that was going on when we got here.
Yeah, this is not a sheltered village. These people have seen violence and horror, and the fact that their spirits remain as unbowed and as buoyed as they are is that's why my family stayed and why I stayed. From the stories I've heard of Gordon, what Sibylith would tell, I don't regret that.
No, I'm from a city, but I don't think you could pay me to live in Gordon, and that was like before it got overrun by aberrations and. I mean, it seems like they're rebuilding. I haven't checked in recently.
With you and your friends' help. For sure, I would imagine.
A bit. I mean, I guess we did help them get the chance to. That's a weird way of phrasing that, but
you have kept a lot of this part of the world from slipping into chaos and corruption. That's why I was saying you and your friends are that impressive.
Yeah.
Warden, Jistoa, and something about puppet fish people?
Yeah, that was a thing. That was weird.
The kids would love to hear that story someday, I'm sure.
Oh, I
to tell that one.
If they're into gross stuff, then I mean, a lot of kids are into gross stuff.
Oh, they are. It is wild what these kids will do. Nature does not bother them. and some of the horrors in the shadows, their nightmares come to life that they are taught about and fight against. You hear the stories of the champion, Pathfinder, the shepherd. I'm grateful.
People here are something else.
It is a welcoming place to even people who are unlike that. It is an acceptance I hadn't expected to find.
Yeah. So I think we'd all be better off with a few more places like home.
Mhm. It's, and she sort of like looks at the darkening sky, getting close to the evening meal, and I do have some duties to help with there. But
I will
if you and your friends ever want to
get out of your hair.
come by, please let me know. And I would imagine the kids would get a real delight in seeing the lot of you appear out of nowhere, weapons brandished, wounds bleeding. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be quite.
It
Nothing will
be,
get done for the rest of the day, but it will
I-
be quite interesting and exciting for
yeah.
them.
Just derail the entire day.
Well, sometimes kids need that.
Yeah. All right.
Wish your friends well.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll let them know that if they ever, want to stop by somewhere quiet to think, if nothing else.
Always welcome. She kind of bows her head, kind of steps away, wipes the
Kind of
dirt
give the
and
little
clippings and stuff.
Sarah and Ray statue a little pat on the head and head out.
Okay.
It's a respectful
The
pat on the head.
statue of your goddess.
It's a respectful little pat on the head.
Right. Little fist, little
fist
little fist bump of
tiny.
yeah.
I mean, Pike would be into that.
Yeah.
Elias meets
Man.
Pike.
That's now the official greeting of followers of Sarah.
Do all of you join for evening meal, or do you kind of keep it quiet in the cottage?
Since we wanted to keep it quiet, Pernell's staying back as best as
I mean,
possible.
originally we were keeping it quiet to try and keep Sarum sort of.
Yeah.
I mean,
feel
Serum still
like-
wants his space, so
Yeah.
Aiden probably won't.
Well, I mean, I was thinking like if we were trying to sort of keep interest off of Sarum, so we were staying
I think
sort
we're
of
gonna
out of the limelight
stay
as well.
at the cottage.
A little
yeah.
incognito for a little bit longer. Okay.
Yeah. Quiet night.
Anything else for the evening? Or were you going to rest and then head back to Port Damali, courtesy of Dragon Uber?
Dragon Uber.
Dragon Uber.
I mean, unless anyone else has things to do, I was thinking we would rest and.
I don't have anything.
Not at the moment. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything else to
So yeah, we have dinner, we sleep. Presumably we hear it. Hopefully we hear at some point that Shepard woke up.
Yeah, keep an eye
Yes.
for that.
Late in the evening.
If anyone did ask Velis to check, he would. But if somebody brought it up.
The very tiny little presence that you sensed before is completely gone. There is nothing, nothing at all that's there.
I would tell them.
She does wake up a little bit later, and indeed, a squirrel. You're not quite sure how it got into the cottage because the doors and windows are closed. But at some point, a squirrel kind of pops in, and I would say a couple of you are particularly perceptive, so it doesn't have to like chuck any acorns at you to get your attention first. But you do hear a relayed message in Shepard's voice that just says, "I'm awake and hungry. Thank you. Check in sometime, if only to keep Champion company, please." Distract him.
To distract him from being a mother hen purple.
Yep.
I mean, if he wants to spar.
Yes. But other than that, very uneventful. Nothing other happening. Whether it's through circumstance or intent, you're all left alone. No other interruptions.
Dragonborn Uber.
Dragonborn
Uber.
A small thing in Damali when we get there, but
when we do get to Damali, Weria is going to she's not going to make herself look like sort of halfling Merida this time. She's going to go with a darker brown hair and blue eyes, and just slightly wavy hair, but nothing fancy.
I did have a question about, because I realize I still have that far traveler background where people kind of stare. Is that something that Pernell should be worried about when doing a heist?
Well, generally speaking, with a heist, you're going to be somewhere you're not supposed to be anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I've never played that up as much. The sort of like, you're really weird and people are staring at you. That's
only
I
if
guess.
you open your mouth.
That's
a meta.
That's true. Okay.
So.
Keep it quiet then.
Okay. So. You all gather together. Keegan expends another charge. It gets like a couple per day, so sometimes you might only get like. Let's see. Actually, hold on.
It's
As long as you're doing it 2 per day. Is it always 3 or is it 1 to 3? A D3.
It is a
okay.
D3.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, if you're using it twice a day, there could be a chance
that we run out of.
That you would run out. But I just rolled and yeah, you're all charged up for the day.
No.
So it is.
I mean, that is also why I'm gonna keep word of recall prepared
just in
because,
case. Yeah.
just in case.
All right. So it is the 25th of Thunshear as you appear in Port Damali. and are almost immediately drenched by the powerful rainstorm that is just thundering down. It was warm and bright and sunny and home, and it's like all of that.
Nobody really warns you about the dangers of fast traveling, do they?
Immediate
But
drowned
yeah,
out
like
face, just like
Regret.
lightning, thunder, dark storm clouds. It's like this storm must have blown in overnight, and it is miserable, and the city has sort of battened down the hatches. You know, all of that
to
stuff.
the ocean, that is not surprising.
I want to finally get around to buying those clothes.
Hey!
Hey, fancy clothes.
Yeah,
Tell us
I
by
think
something.
that all that time in the time at home and the bit of downtime is just realizing that after all of that, everything is just looking a little bit threadbare and a little bit beat up, and it's time to buy something new. So
I mean, you're probably still wearing whatever getup you last had on when you left, like, the Empire.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I should finish drawing that one sometime. I designed it. I just never did a full body.
We all go clothes shopping and buy pretty clothes.
I just want to get some nice something that will last for battle and travel.
Well, it is Port Damali. There are cultures and merchants. Strike that, reverse it. There are merchants from all sorts of cultures here. It is a very cosmopolitan place. And so you can find all manner of suppliers of pre-made things. There are definitely going to be tailors available in the the fancy. If you're looking for something, some fancier duds, so to speak, you can definitely find something if you go back up to the castle.
It is literally what I have been drawing him in for a year.
Okay.
Actually had.
Get some high fashion, because you're high when you put it on. That's probably the people up, like the really like weird sort of like Hunger Games type.
How much would something like that cost?
I mean, you spend like 20 gold and you're getting like super nice custom tailored stuff. If you want like someone to tailor you an entire wardrobe of nice clothing, 100 gold, and you've got jackets and doublés and all of that stuff for days.
Yeah, I just want that outfit. So do.
Yeah, you can definitely find someone for 20 gold to do stuff like that.
Remove. Done. Shows up an hour later with a much nicer outfit.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get custom tailored, that will take a couple of days.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can definitely buy some off the rack type
Some
things
nice
that are much
off-the-rack
better.
stuff.
Yeah, like they're going to take your measurements and they're gonna make you something nice.
Yeah.
But these places also will sell things because you walk in. Are you disguised at all, or you're?
Nope.
Yeah. You walk in and they're initially very skeptical of you, and I would imagine your first instinctive reaction is because of like the fact that you are a drow, and after a moment you're like, oh no, it's because
Your clothes
I'm
look like
like
crap.
your clothes look like crap, you don't look like you can afford anything.
They just whipped out this giant purse.
But you're like, okay, this is what I want, and it's like, oh, and then it's like immediately switch of like,
oh honey,
whatever we can do for you, sir.
Yeah.
We will take care of you. Yeah.
Oh honey,
And
let's
it
get you out of
was
those.
entirely because you're like, it's it was almost like there's like a little bit of pity because like they can see like there's something under there, and it's very much like, you've got amazing cheekbones, obviously, aristocratic lineage, but you
Look like
treat
a
your
drowned
clothes.
rat right now.
You did literally come in from the rain, but also you do not treat your clothes with any care. You drag them through everything.
Let's be real. I was about to say, let's be real. Velis probably doesn't look as much like a drowned rat as Elias does right now. Anyway, continue.
Halfway.
Yeah.
Halfway.
So you can definitely get all of your clothing needs met here.
Yes.
And they would be happy to like do a whole wardrobe for you even if you wanted. Come back anytime. They're more than happy to help. Take your money and your business.
Just promise to come back later if I need anything else and give them. I'll give them a 5 gold tip.
They're very grateful and they almost don't like sort of acknowledge it. It's very professional.
So, well, you needed to go to the temple, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I have the brain for that tonight. I am
Yeah.
starting to.
Oh yeah,
it is late and real time. And
I have
so
had so much caffeine. This is the first time all day I felt awake.
Oh.
So while Velis was off getting some clothes, what did everyone else kind of do? Like head
I think
roughly
Elias
in the
would go
temple
to
direction?
To go, check in at the temple while Velis was doing that.
You said a couple days, Brendan, just for reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the last conversation you had with Darlton is that there's steps, like there is prep that has to be done before you can actually commence the first thing. He's going to go work independently on some things, find some information, and then get a hold of all of you. And very much like at whatever, like you're sitting in a cafe, you're getting a drink, you're waiting for Velis or Elias to come back. At some point, each of you is approached by a small child and given a note.
Elias is used to this by now.
These are not Kalia's. This isn't Kalia's crew.
Yeah.
It's not. This message isn't from Kalia, but it's just it's just a brief note. Just a time and a place. It's some nondescript bar in. It's actually in the Rose, which is outside of the city wall, and it just says D. You're presuming it's Darlton, but it's a time and a place to meet. He apparently knows that you're back in town, and it looks like he'll have his first
Little unsettling that he knows that fast.
task.
Stand out.
Yeah. For you, Velis, like you're waiting outside, and your instinct just kind of kicks in, and you kind of like look over and you just see the street urchin casually like leaning against the wall, and they do not belong in the castle at all. And it's like you see them almost instantly because you're a rogue and you just have that sort of preternatural sense about you, and they see that you see them, and it's like they give you a little nod, like, yeah, okay, I see that you see me. Props.
10-year-old child, like
it really is. And they approach and very surreptitiously do the whole like walk by you and hand you something without anyone really knowing that they're walking by you, handing you something, and it's the note. The rest of you aren't nearly as perceptive, and the kid like literally has to like walk up in front of you and just like here.
Like Velis actually says that.
We have much
Yeah,
higher.
I was gonna say Elias had actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if in this situation.
We may not be
I mean,
specifically
I don't
looking
know.
for street urchins with
Yeah.
notes, but we have
Right.
way higher perception.
Yeah. It's a rogue thing.
Yeah.
It's a rogue thing.
It's a rogue thing. But what happens at that determined time and location, what the first prep mission for the heist will be, we will find out next time on Wild Times in Wildemount for episode session 100.
Holy shit! We made it!
Yeah.
Still alive.
Awesome.
I have to
Thank you all for your patience with my technical problems and my not quite always prepared brain. But I want to
Story
make
of our lives.
everything about this heist thing special, so it will be. I think
I have to think if there's any specific items I want.
Yeah. Oh, also, yeah. Again, send me those list of
Yeah.
sort of the wish list thing.
Yes.
Like, I don't have anything I specifically want for Elias beyond like a better weapon, like an upgraded hammer.
So what I did is I went, because I sent mine a little like yesterday, I think. I went through like magical items and just like, okay, what is my wish list? I realized some of these are probably completely unlikely and impractical, but I'm gonna put them on the wish list anyway because I'd want them if I could get them.
That's fair.
And it's like,
You have to
some
look
of them
back
are
on your stuff.
practical, some of them aren't. I realize that.
Right.
But if I don't put them on the list, I'm not gonna get them. So.
I feel like I have some good stuff now, so I just threw some random things on there, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna look through lists again. Yeah. Chat, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let me send you off to a friend of mine from VR Chat, Scaly Seto, who is on a mission right now in VR Chat to save one of our guild members. So until I'll probably be back tomorrow night for Hikodashi no Nakakoro ni read through. So until then, you all stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'll put raid call and stuff for Scaly in chat. And see you next time. Bye!
I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to